No.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. When last we saw the Trollskull Six, so very much had happened. You all had made your way to the tourist town of Garenhof, at the head of a large fjord on the coast of the Sea of Sorrows. You had spent a bit of time walking around, kind of taking in the local flavors before making yourselves a reservation at Fjordhard Hall, the famous bed and breakfast, the high quality inn in this location. And after having done so, treated yourselves to a bit of time in a hot spa, hot bath, taking the opportunity to dip into your personal reserves of recreational intoxicants. You spent several minutes enjoying the sights and sounds of the city when suddenly, on being surprised by, I believe, the proprietor of the establishment, whom you had asked for, if memory serves, Galatar, in a panic, submerged beneath the waters and was transported we know not where. Strange and alien, though somewhat familiar locale, and eventually, after encountering a few odd creatures, was able to almost instinctively, subconsciously work his way in reverse back to rejoin you in Garenhof, trying to explain his absence in his inebriated state led to a bit of tension, and he fled the scene and teleported back to Lion's Arch. The rest of you finished ambling about in the bath for a moment, talking over your plans for the day. You tried to go back and take a nap, whereupon Bertie realized he could not find sleep, no matter how he tried. You all relaxed for a bit, you had your whale steaks, and then you spent the better part of the early evening walking around the town, enjoying the different festivities and some of the late nightlife. As the sun set, you were treated to a spectacular show in the sky, a large swarm of bats, much like the starlings that we have here in the US, bursting out from the nearby hills, fluttering their way across the night sky, circling the wizard's tower, and then descending on the fjord to hunt all manner of nighttime insects. At the end of that night, Birdie was finally able to crash and go to sleep. Keytree, I believe, curled up on the floor of his room, and Keytree had a rather interesting dream, where once again the influence of the nightmare was felt, but also a strange visitor in the form of the wizard Isgarin. Eventually, this being 2 a.m. or so when people finally fell asleep, after a long day of catching up on your rest, Bertie awoke around 2 in the afternoon to find that his loot was not where he left it. It had been moved and sat vertically leaned against the open glass door onto the balcony. But before we resume there, Galatar, I believe you teleported to Kolinar's tower.
That sounds familiar. I think, honestly, I don't know. I'm also sort of recovering from the flu that I've had for the last few days. So I'm a little, my memory's a little shot, but that sounds familiar.
So you are high as a kite. Every sensation, your sight, your scent, your hearing, your tactile sensation, all amplified to the max. You're frustrated that you're not able to articulate where you've been, and that your party members, who are all under the influence of some sort of drug, were having a difficult time accepting at face value the very strange tale that you have told. And in your frustration, I believe you teleported to, presumably, it's your choice because you don't have to choose one, but the teleportation circle that you know in Lion's Arch is in Kolinar's bedroom. Depending on what spell you used, you can just choose to teleport to Lion's Arch, but that is up to you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I guess was going to Kolinars. So whatever the
You're
fastest
also
thing I knew
not
how to get to
wearing
Kolinars was.
you don't have any clothes on.
Oh no, I grabbed my like stuff I'd taken to the bathhouse. I did not put it back on. That is true, but I did take it, so I've got it with me in arm.
Okay. Uh, so yes, you and everything you are carrying
Yeah.
disappear from the bathhouse, and with that familiar sort of tugging sensation behind your belly button, you appear in Kolinar's bedchamber. And Kolinar is sitting at a little vanity desk across the room from his bed on the opposite side of his teleportation circle that is permanently inscribed. And hearing you pop in, he starts a little bit and turns and looks at you. Oh, hello? Is everything all right? You look in a fit state.
Well, no, things are not all right. For one, I've had drugs. Um, I don't really know drugs. I don't do drugs, but I've had drugs, and here I am. Also, I went back in time, I think, to a different time, but the same place. Does that make sense? Have you done that before? Is this like a common wizard thing?
No.
No, to which one? I asked like 6 questions.
Yes. Perhaps, I'll give you a moment if you'd like to re-robe yourself, and we could adjourn not in my bedchamber.
Great
He just sort of
call.
like makes for the door.
Okay, I'll put on some clothes. Can we talk as I put on the clothes? I don't want to lose the thoughts. They're kind of coming and going very quickly.
Take a few deep breaths and really think them over. I'll be in the hallway.
Okay. Sure, I'll put on my clothes in a very like haphazard fashion.
You come out and you're still like pulling sleeves on and stuff, and he sort of gestures to the stair that you're familiar with that leads down through his tower and kind of ushers you through without touching you, and is gesturing. We'll continue speaking. We'll go down to the laboratory, please.
Oh,
And he,
perfect.
yeah.
Have you been to Garenhof? Yeah, the little travel destination thing. You know, the place with the people.
I have not.
Oh, well, for one, you should go. It's a prime tourist destination, I've heard. For
Very
two,
similar.
yeah, well, when I was there, I also traveled back in time, pretty sure. So that was fun. I was in a hot tub, you know, and then I dunked under the hot tub because I was doing drugs, and you're not really supposed to do drugs. And then I was naked and doing drugs, and the people were coming in, and then it was going to be trouble, and I didn't want to get busted, you know. Roland's got the whole thing about drugs. Pretty sure he used them, but he's kind of, you know, something. So I was doing the drugs. I went under the water. Then I came up. Then there was a water nymph. Then there was a giant. Then there was another creature. And then that creature yelled at me because I had iron, because my sword is iron. You see the sword is iron. And then, yeah, I came back to the present time.
As you're kind of walking, he's nodding behind you.
Sure,
And
sure.
it doesn't really matter, but you occasionally you hear a grunt or a like a non-committal acknowledgement that you are speaking. And as you kind of descend to the lower levels, every now and then he kind of takes a couple of quick steps to get up into your vision and uses his arm to gesture left, right, go around this. And he takes you down to one of the floors on which he has a bit of laboratory equipment. And he just continues to let you talk for a moment. He goes and pulls a chair over, sets it down, and just kind of gestures to have you be seated. Assuming you sit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
He
like
sits you
sits in the
down,
way that somebody who's just very restless sits, like leans the chair back, starts
like
like rotating
Michael
it.
J.
Yeah,
Fox with the Parkinson's, just like constantly.
absolutely.
Yeah. And he sits you down next to like a bank of crystals and widgets and little like apparatus that are sitting there on his desk with like sigils and scrolls on them and all sorts of like little metallic and wooden rods and just all sorts of wizard paraphernalia. He goes and grabs another chair as you continue talking. He pulls it up, sits directly across from you. You see, he just like steeples his fingers for a moment and just listens to you and is looking at you very intently and just nodding every now and then. And you see, like, he'll turn and look you over, turn the other way, continue. Yes, that sounds very intriguing. How do you feel?
Well, so I feel very restless, like I'm on drugs, which I am. And look. I know that this sounds like a whole drug-induced stupor kind of thing, right? But look at this rock. This is a rock that I took from the place with the creature. And like right now, I know I'm on drugs, but I promise this did happen. And also, hold on, because I've got to shush my.
All good.
And so yeah, I've got this rock, and like I know the thing happened. So like I know I sound super crazy right now. I know I showed up naked. Yeah. But my friends did not believe me. But I know that I went back in time, and the reason I came to you, right, is that this person seemed to be in like a land of fairy fae creatures. And they said something about like the dragons roamed the world, like there were numerous dragons. And then I was able to communicate with this person when I came back to the present using a sending spell, right? So that's interesting. And then this creature was talking about how the dragons were plentiful and they'd never seen a human before. But it was the exact same layout of Gerenhof, just without any of the people or the settlement, just the landscape. Interesting, right?
Very much. One moment, and you see he goes over to like a little pull-out drawer on this central round station that he has, as sort of the central pillar holding up the floor above. Uh, he goes and pulls out a drawer, and you can hear him sort of rifling through little bits. You hear the tink of metal and the clunk of wood, and he comes out with what looks like a pair of blacksmith's tongs. And he comes over and he very meticulously takes that stone in the grips and just walks about 2 feet away before setting it down on what looks like a little golden tripod with a uh, little iron ring at the top. He sort of balances the stone on there, and when he's done, he lets it go and just kind of looks. All right, do continue. And you just, as you talk, like you see him going through different instruments, and he's like, he grabs a monocle and claps it on one eye, and you can see like he like winks and gets it set in there, and then he's looking very very carefully at it, and every now and then he turns back to you. Yes, and he just continues to investigate this, and at some point he closes his eyes and mutters a quick spell, and you recognize that he's beginning to cast identify, but you know that it takes time, and so he's sort of reaching out and just very delicately tracing a finger across the stone. And he continues to mutter, and every now and then he kind of like opens an eye and looks at you, and continues to do what he's doing.
Yeah, Galatar just like nonstop talking. Yeah.
Uh, After a minute, he stops and he says, "Hmm, all right. Well, the stone itself is clearly non-magical. That's good. It doesn't seem like it poses a danger. I have other alchemical tests I could run on it to see what type of stone it is, although it looks just like a piece of normal limestone to me. Um, but there are certain things that we can use to treat it and see what it can tell us. I, one moment, please." And he just kind of turns his back to you. And at this point, he casts Sending and is talking to, I believe, Kala. Uh, and the conversation goes on a little bit. He just kind of like gets everybody up to speed. Eventually, that's done. And he turns and says, "All right, your friends are safe. This is good. You seem to be all right. I think it might be wise if you were to stay here for a time, a couple hours perhaps. So just let me keep an eye on you." And he thinks. You can see like he like it's not really concern so much as it's like he's thinking about a complex problem. And eventually he says, "How about some tea?"
Tea is good. Can I ask you a question though?
Of
While
course.
you're making the tea? So yeah, the rock's not magical or anything. I just kind of grabbed it to prove that I really had been someplace, just not in my mind.
Indeed.
But do you know anything about like the fey creatures that used to inhabit this world before the humans came?
Um, I know bit about the sentient races that predate humanity. Uh, there were records of the dwarves and the ancient Jotun civilization. I've spoken with Marshal Treherne about them somewhat. I know that there were more mysterious peoples, the Mersat, and their counterpart, the Seers. Um, Less is known about the Seers as they were somewhat reclusive and did not openly make war against others, so people generally left them alone. I I know there were myths from Cantha about various creatures, monsters, figures of legend, but it's difficult to tell what of those came here with the Canthan people versus what they found when they arrived. There are mythic tales from all over the world of strange creatures. If it hadn't taken the physical manifestation of a woman, I would have suggested you encountered a water elemental. But it sounds familiar. I shall have to do some research. I, I do have quite a collection here. Um, let's get you some food and some tea, and I'll dig around and see what I can find.
Okay, and if you see any mention of like little creatures, like little people that buzz around, there was also one of them and a giant, and they kept talking about somebody like a queen who would be very angry if I was caught there. And the giant was like a patrolman or a guard or something. I don't know.
Make
Tea would
a
be great.
make a history check.
Oh gosh, with disadvantage, right? From the thing. Do I have disadvantage
Yes.
on ability
You're
checks?
as high as a kite.
For a long
Ooh,
damn
that was a
while.
26 on the first. And oh, not bad. That is a 26 is the lower of the two. An 18 and a 16.
Yeah. So the the lady in the pool, uh, it, you don't have a name,
Mhm.
but you've heard of ladies in the water before. There were stories of knights and heroes in the fairy tales your father Burkhard read to you, because he's the Crichton. Uh, so yes, he would have read to you. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, Roland, I think, is the Ascalonian. Pretty sure.
That sounds right.
I think
I'd
that's
have to
right.
double check my notes.
Yeah. So the Crichton fairy tales that you've heard of, they had ladies in the water, who sometimes gave gifts or boons to noble heroes and knights, in days of yore. Uh, and with a 26, the little flitting creature of light with the dragonfly wings was a sprite, a type of small or tiny, teeny tiny fairy. And these are figures that the people of Tyria, you know, DM to player, don't have as great a breadth of fairy tale tales like we do. But they do exist, and there are some. They're the stories that inspired Galatar to be a warrior mage. So with your 26, you would know that it was a pixie or a sprite. You didn't necessarily get a close enough look at it to determine its sex, but the lady in the water certainly sounds like a fairy tale creature. Um, and the giant was very clearly a giant, which there are similar creatures. The Jotun, for example, or the Jotun of the northern Shiver Peaks, are of a similar type, though they fall far short of the legend of their greater cousins, the true giants, which haven't been seen in the world in a very long time.
Okay.
As far as the queen goes, you know that there are many tales about the kings and queens and princes of fairyland, and it would make sense if a pixie or a sprite was talking about a queen, that would be some royal figure of the fairy court.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Kolinar kind of claps his hands, and there's a couple seconds go by, and then you hear a shuffling, and there's just like a silken dish towel kind of floating in the air, and he just turns his head and says in a low voice, like, "Put a spot of tea on for us, please, and if you would, go ahead and light the lamps in the library." And you watch the towel just kind of bob away and head back down the stairs. He says, "The tea will be ready shortly."
Is that an invisible servant?
It was. I
I
have
never
several.
get to use mine.
I've reinforced the enchantments here. I keep several permanently, just in case I need them.
You are so impressive. That is really cool.
I can teach you how if you like.
I would love that. Probably not right now, though. I don't know if I'd remember it.
Good point. Definitely come back and see me when you're feeling more yourself.
Oh, that would be great. You're truly an incredible wizard.
Well, I dabble.
I mean, gosh, sure, I'm glad we found you in the tower when you were being, held prisoner. Glad you're free and, doing your thing now. That girl was kind of a jerk.
I share your sentiment.
Yeah.
Although, between you and I fear that perhaps Kala might be taking things a little personal with my former captor. I've had a number of questions from the Arcane Eye. Uncomfortable questions. I may need to sit down and have a talk with her.
Oh yeah, my dude, she all but put a crossbow right through her face. I mean, she basically tried to get her killed like 20 ways to Sunday. She kept trying to figure out if we could get other information that then they would let her kill her. I mean, she loves you or cares about you a lot, like she just wants to put that girl in her face.
She does.
She's a
care very much
defender.
about Kala as well.
Yeah, she defends the people she cares about, and for her that means cutting off tails, taking weapons, and killing people. So it's what she's good at. Very, very good at. Very frightening woman.
She certainly can be.
Yeah, don't want to piss her off.
All right, so a little bit of time goes by. He leads you down out of the tower into the house proper. And on the second floor, there's a fireplace, a couple of really plush, lovely chairs, and he sits you down in one of those and goes and starts rummaging through some books. He eventually pulls out a small stack of 4 or 5 books, some bigger, some smaller, sets them down on a side table and takes a seat opposite of you, snaps his fingers, and there's a big roaring fire in the fireplace, little prestidigitation. And after a couple more minutes, there is a floating tea tray that comes in, and you watch as tea service is poured, and at some point the dish towel sort of turns generally in your direction as though to ask you how you like your tea.
After he stops crying a little bit with joy, Galatar will just ask for just some nice, strong, hot tea. Yeah, just plain.
Yeah. So
What you got
a
drinking?
cup is floated over to you, and at this point, like the smell of the cedar wood, the feel of the leather, the creak and shift of the leather beneath you, the feel of the arms of the chair, like the velvet lining against your fingertips, the riot of color coming out of this fire in the fireplace, all of this, the scent of the tea, the the sensation of the steam wafting over your face, like it's all everything's at 11. It's very distracting, but you see Kolinar, like he's reading, and every now and then he kind of just flicks his eyes up to you and just gives you a once over and make sure you're all right. But he lets you sit and just kind of bathe in the sensory experience. Uh,
Turns out
Al-
Birdie's not the one who needed a trip sitter.
Everybody's gonna have a better trip than Galator did. Never Banff under the influence, guys.
I don't know. This is working out pretty well. Getting hot tea, getting somebody to take care of you. Some nice books are being read.
Old DM's
the only
halfway
thing you're
through
missing
this
is finger paint.
Honestly.
That's what Birdie did. He finger painted and painted himself and all sorts
That's
of shit.
hilarious.
She's like, I'm careful.
Did you use your magical paints when you finger paint?
A little bit, I said, yeah.
Nicely done.
Add some texture to it, yeah.
So a couple of hours go by, sitting quietly, and occasionally, like snacks and finger foods are kind of brought in. Just more things to keep you distracted. A couple of books with interesting illustrations, and they're like alchemical primers. You know, it's not super deep, but it's not for children. It's just for like
Yeah, it's
novices in alchemy.
Oh my god, the nerd's high. Get him a picture book.
It's like complex diagrams and like solar charting and stuff like that, but it's like the feel of the pages, the quality of the ink, the sound that the parchment makes when you turn, you know.
Just give me a puzzle book for wizards to do while I'm high.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, so the punchline of it all is that time goes by, eventually there is dinner time, and you are still high. So this moon moss lasts for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And you cannot sleep.
Right.
And then when that 12 hours hits, you pass the fuck out and you stay asleep for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So he would conjure his fancy feast, you know, and just like let you indulge in all of the senses. You know, honestly, like you don't even need to pig out. It's just seeing and smelling and like feeling it. You know, sometimes chewing and swallowing, sure, but like wine, ale, roast duck. You know, it's just like this crazy variety, sensory palate smorgasbord. And once you've had your fill and you're still sitting there, overloaded with your senses, he will snap his fingers and play a little soft music. And then he will very calmly and in sort of like dad voice explain that I shall have to do much more research. This is a vexing problem that you've uncovered. It seems from your description to match certain fanciful tales that are catalogued in children's stories, alternately called Fairy, the Fairy Lands, the Never Never, the Spirit Realm, and there are many names for a place like this. I always assumed that this childish fancy followed humanity from whatever world we once occupied to Tyria. But it seems that it may in fact be more of an ancestral memory of sorts. Certainly after your friends discovered the wreckage of the Brine Flare and the strange magics of its very even stranger captain, it opened many of our eyes to the possibility of other pockets of the mists containing strange new worlds. This is something I shall continue to investigate. I don't know if I would try to get there in the same method. It seems a bit unpredictable, and I think, as always in wizardry, safety first. Always having a secure and reliable exit strategy is paramount when exploring new planes or demi-planes. But I think it gives us a place to start. Perhaps I'll check with Grandfather Zitembe or Steward Gix. I know they have a special collections at the Priory. It's been many years since I've traveled to the Shiver Peaks. Perhaps I could spend some time in their archives. If you like.
That would be great. Wait, can you remind me? I don't personally remember. Grandfather is Atambe's friend, the one with the very special collection of items. I was told not to ever mention him to anybody. Like he's supposed to be secret, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you should talk to Grandfather Zatambe and see. He's a very knowledgeable individual with many high-powered friends.
He is. He taught me many of the things that I know when I was a young man.
Oh, he's such a delight. He always gives me candy,
A very wise mentor.
but it's always Werther's.
Was always fond of the Werther's original.
Yeah, it's good candy, but I lost a tooth last time. I just love that man so much. He's taught me all kinds of stuff. Oh, also, I just wanted to say that have you ever thought how weird it is that like people don't know all these things about our own history? Like you just said, like we didn't know about the Marsots or the dragons. Like where did the dragons come from? And also, like when the humans arrived here, were the dragons plentiful? Like why did the dragons suddenly just go underground? You know?
Well, there are dragon-like creatures that roam Tyria. The wyverns of the high forests and sometimes the mountains. I believe there is a breed of wyvern in the Great Crystal Desert. They're not elder dragons by any means. Those creatures are utterly unique. I remember tales of a great conflict in Cantha that involved a species called the... And he sits and thinks for a moment. The salt spray dragon.
Mm.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that an intelligent dragon of some sort guards their harvest temple. It's a large, mostly ruined at this point. Excuse me. Too much duck. A great temple in the Jade Sea. It's once used to crown the emperors or some such, but a great salt spray dragon, an ancient and wise creature, is said to guard that, and it is a form of dragon kin, so to speak. Of course, there are the lesser drakes and creatures you might find in swamps and rivers and in the high crags of the Shiver Peaks. So I have no doubt that at some point, dragon kind was much more plentiful. We, being the creatures that we are, tend to eliminate apex predators when we move into a given location.
We do.
The more interesting implication of your tale was your guess that you had traveled backward through time. I'm limited in my experience with temporal magic. Thaumaturgy is not something that is frequently studied. It is a dangerous and temperamental magic. but the only spells that I've ever heard of can affect time in a localized area, but generally only to compress or elongate with forward momentum. I don't believe I've ever heard of anything being able to reverse the flow and affect the past. That would be a game changer. I shudder to think. And I don't think sending would have worked. As far as I'm aware, sending can't go forward or backward through time.
That
But
seems
it can cross
strange.
planes.
So do you think it's a separate plane, but in the same pocket of reality, like the same dimensional space, just on a separate overlapping plane? That would be interesting.
It's theoretically possible. The mists are strange,
Hmm.
unpredictable. We know very little of their laws outside of our own world. I think Grandfather Zitembe might be the most likely to have answers. Although, I suppose, well, now that ore has been cleansed, might be a time to make a trip to Ilona. Some of the wise sages there, some of the oldest lore in the world is kept behind the tombs of the primeval kings.
Oh.
Some of the first temples to Cormyr were built in Ilona, where she ascended.
Oh, yes, of course.
Perhaps they might know something a bit more about how the mists are shaped. But it's certainly something worth
Yeah.
pursuing.
That's a brilliant thought. Do you think the you mentioned that salt spray dragon? Has anybody ever tried to talk to the dragon about, you know, the similar species akin to it, or to these sort of similar mysteries?
I don't know if anyone's had that specific conversation. I do know that a group of warriors once traveled to Cantha at the behest of an Ascalonian monk. I think he was from Cantha originally, and they traveled there and they fought a creature. I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't a lich. It was a sort of reincarnation of a powerful assassin, uh, Shiro Tagachi, just a legendary Canthan figure. His first death created the Jade Wind, the effect that petrified the Jade Sea and the Echovald Forest. He caused a plague there. This is 240 years ago ish, something similar, just before the Crichton Civil War, if I recall. But they traveled there with a monk to combat him, and I believe while they were there, they spoke with the dragon. I have a note about that somewhere, and he starts like going over to shelves. He's like pulling off the front rows of books and looking back in through smaller tomes, and he pulls out what looks like a thin leather folio. He opens it up and starts like haphazardly flipping through it. A couple pages fall to the ground. Like, aha! Yeah, here we go. My old notes. I had to read an account. It was Brother Menlo of Ashford Abbey. Yes, Kunavang. Kunavang was the dragon's name. Guardian of the Harvest Temple. I know they spoke with the Guardian, but I don't have any notes about what they spoke of. It's like gathering pages from the ground and stuffing them back in, and just kind of flops the cover back on, tosses it on the shelf. So they do exist, in some form or another. Specifically, their biology is a mystery to me. I've never encountered any myself. Although you've, uh, well, I tell a lie. You and I have both fought uh, one of the lesser dragons at Flower Island.
We did, yeah. The one that killed a lot of our people.
Yes. Oh, and you defeated another at the Crow's Nest, even.
We did, yeah. Were you not? Weren't you present for that one? Were you not?
I don't think he was at the Crow's Nest.
Okay.
Or if he was helping people do other things.
Yeah, he might have been like helping with evacuation. I just don't remember.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, we've encountered lesser dragons a couple of times now. But I think in both instances they were servants of Zaitan, so I don't know how other lesser dragons are similar or whatnot.
Well, there is always Glint, of course. The prophet. Glint, who wrote the Flameseeker prophecies, was a legendary crystalline scaled dragon that helped the heroes who first defeated the Mersat, just before the Crichton Civil War.
What became of Glint? Just disappear or?
Oh no, Glint fought beside Destiny's Edge against Kralkatorrik when he first rose. The location, I believe, where Kralkatorrik was last seen was called Prophet's Fall, because the prophet Glint perished in that battle. She, I believe, was once a great lieutenant of Kralkatorrik's, a great champion of that particular Elder Dragon.
Interesting. You know, we dealt with Jormag's champion, who was dragon-like, but not exactly a dragon. Very interesting. It makes me wonder about the social structure of dragons and how they came to be. There are just so many questions, you know? Like every time I think we have more answers, then I'm just like, oh, there are more questions. And then none of my friends really seem to care. They're just kind of like, they want to party and have fun, and then they're just not interested in like the biology of dragons, which, I mean, come on, like, it's pretty cool.
I mean, you have to have some sympathy. The less cerebral among us, especially when you live day to day combating the forces of evil, cutting loose every now and then is a healthy way to express themselves. To
Oh, I'm all
refresh
for
that
the party.
fighting spirit.
I just want them to, you know, take a greater interest in the book stuff too. You know, it's like get drunk and then also learn stuff. These are like the two best things in life. You know? But yeah, it's all right. One of these days I'll sit them down, we'll create like a TED talk or something. I'll teach them. It'll be great. But yeah, that all sounds good. I'm going to go play with this puzzle book some more. Yeah. Thanks. You've been a big help. You're going to be a really good dad.
I beg your pardon?
Well, I don't know if you'll ever be a father, but if you want to be, you'd be a good one.
Oh, I don't think so.
You don't think you'd be a good dad, or you don't want to be a dad? Two very different things. Well, see, this is what you've done again. You're very smart man, very bad at knowing how to answer multiple questions.
It's more a idiom, but I
Sure,
think you're
good. Good night.
You say that and then just like keel over on the table. He will dispel the spell before your face hits the pie.
Perfect.
And so yes, 12 hours pass, and in the afternoon, the early afternoon of the next day, Birdie wakes up to his unusual situation. Kitri, curled up on the floor, you hear him stirring.
I thought I climbed by him in the bed where I like covered him up with an extra blanket after I woke up from the end of my dream.
Oh, did you do that?
Pretty sure, and then I was like, I'm gonna go flop over in the bed.
Well, you would definitely sense him stirring to wakefulness then.
Who's? Yeah, music.
Hello.
Did we?
Hi. No. I just
Oh.
climbed up here. You were
Oh,
cold, and also I slept on your floor, and I was tired of the floor, so I climbed up here. I hope you don't mind.
Oh yeah, sure. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, I didn't think, but
Unless you're worried about something else, but
no, don't think so.
I just wanted like a pillow and
Sure, sure.
something more comfy than the wooden floor here.
Oh, that was fun. Got to do that more often. That was good. Why am I covered in paint?
I don't know. I don't remember much. I don't know how I ended up in here exactly. I vaguely remember Brina was here. Something
Right.
about whales.
Is it morning or afternoon?
I don't know.
You guys can both tell from the light coming in through your slightly ajar balcony door that it is afternoon.
Okay.
Maybe it can just pretend to be evening and go back to sleep. Again.
No. It's afternoon, Keitra. We have to get up and face the day. I'll go down and get us 2 shots of whatever the fuck. Yeah, and we'll just kick it up and start going. All right, let's do this thing. I'm gonna go wash the paint off.
Don't bring any oil
Oil?
or whale bits. No, thank you. I don't
No
want to
whale
relive
bits
that.
in this one. No whale bits. Huh. Did you like?
Okay, good night. And she's
No,
just
I'm
gonna
sorry.
like.
Hold on. Did you touch my loot?
You what?
My loot. I always put it right by my bed, and it's
No, it.
by the open window.
I don't.
Did you move it? Insight
no.
check. Insight that shit.
Go ahead and roll insight. 18.
18.
Jeez, no
I
idea what
didn't-
you're talking about.
Move the loot.
Huh. Can
I don't think I was self-aware enough to do anything quite like that.
I want to like gently grab the loot toe to tip here and like hold it up to the light. Kind of look at it, see if there's any scratches, any nicks, any dings, see if there's any fingerprints, any smudges, anything that would be uncouth that Liberty would never allow on his loot.
Make an investigation check.
Strong suit for me, 6.
No fingerprints, no smudges, not a thing out of place. It's even still perfectly in tune.
Weird. All right, I'm gonna go clean the paint off my body, and then we'll go do whatever day 2 has in store. All right, sweet dreams.
I think someone showed up in my dream last night. Now
Do
I'm kind
tell.
of remembering.
Hmm?
What?
Yeah. Who?
Not
Who
in like
spilled it?
no, like it was
Pretty like
the
sits
wizard.
crisscross applesauce on the bed.
It
Like,
was
all right.
it was the wizard. Except he said his name was Garen and not, they told us it was Garen Hoff.
Interesting.
So
What
this guy showed up in my dream and just creeping around, I guess. I told him to leave. But now I kind of want to like go. I kind of was like, what are you doing in my dream? Like, why don't you just come talk to people like, normal? Like, why are you showing up in someone's dream if you're a stranger? Why don't you just like go talk to them, introduce yourself?
Well, sometimes it's just more
I'm
fun,
thinking a
but-
little bit like he might just be worth trying to talk to.
You didn't talk to him in the dream?
Not too much. Really just was more freaked out. It was a little scary. Like my dream's already scary, and then having someone else show up was even like more disturbing. And he was all like, "Oh, what's this?" And just seemed like, "Oh, you have magic abilities." And I'm like, "So what? Like, why are you showing up in the strangest dream? I did not approve this. I don't know how he did that."
Yeah.
So I should go see a wizard today.
Well, I
Like-
mean, I will say, landing that entry is always tricky when you're trying to get into the entry because it seems like you didn't do a great job, but you got to avoid the jostle. That's hard. That's hard. But
Are you trying to say that you never jostle people, Bertie?
No, I'm saying when you're trying to creep into somebody's dreams, you don't want them to jostle them such that they're so discombobulated by the fact that somebody else is just in their dream. It's not fun.
Well, this is
Not
definitely
everybody
what
has
he
it.
did. So I'm saying I would have preferred he come talk, or like send a message, not just appear in an already like uncomfortable a dream. I was in the
It sounds
nightmare
to me
again.
like he's trying to maintain his veil of mystery, and we can't blame him for being a showman. All right, I'm going to the bathhouse.
I can't if it's creepy.
Bertie's gonna go wash the paint off his body, grab a Bloody Mary, and then he'll make his way to. I mean, he doesn't doesn't remember anything. He's gonna go to Brina's room when he gets a chance to get a little rap on the door if I can.
Okay. As you're doing all of that, what are Alexa and Kala doing?
I'd say I probably
Wake
got
up
a bit
around the same
10.
time.
Oh,
You would get up earlier?
yeah, I mean, like 10.
Oh,
That's
because you
9
went to
hours
bed
of sleep.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But probably wouldn't have done much. Just had breakfast,
Get breakfast,
then-
yeah. A lot of seafood.
fuck around some. Try to literally.
Kala's probably just hanging out in her room, kind of waiting for everybody else to wake up.
Yeah, no, like I'd probably be down there. I'd see Birdie come down and get his drink because I would, having done Moon Moss, I would have a rough idea.
About time.
But I would be like just hanging out. Like I'd wave if he came down and got his, because I'd see he's on a mission. He got a drink. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. He's already got plans.
No, and you know that like attached to the building out the side is the bathhouse. You see him exit that way.
Still paint. I don't know if I knew he was painted.
I think you all went to see them before bed.
I thought you came in, you came in, like everyone
Oh,
was
yeah.
in Birdie's room, even though
For a
we
little
all
while.
had our own rooms.
briefly.
Right. Yeah, I guess we did know he was painted. So yeah, I would know what he's doing. He's recovering. He's got his drink. He's covered in paint still. He's realized I've had a good night.
It's a long road to recovery here.
Yeah. So I just give him a wave.
He'll be fine.
Confirmation we're alive.
Yeah. Here's your kids.
And what time does Brina wake up?
Probably fucking early, because, I mean,
Remember, you guys are all drunk. from
And
the
you
night.
you were up late babysitting me.
I was up late babysitting you. I mean, Brandon probably gets a good healthy 8 hours in.
Yeah.
9, 8:30 maybe. This is fantasy. Brina can wake up before I do. That's awesome. Good for her.
Hell yeah.
What do you do with your time so early in the morning?
Probably just gets like a nice cup of joe and goes and stands over, enjoys the view, has a nice little peaceful morning. She probably is waiting for the rest of the crew to wake up as well to plan for what's gonna happen for me too. Because day one was already so goddamn eventful.
Get more drugs.
Make a perception check for me as you kind of like look out over the town, this beautiful early morning sunlight.
Holy fucking. Time to proceed. 13.
Okay.
Looks normal.
Yeah, well, you see the starting of the morning traffic, merchants setting up their stalls, setting their goods out on display, people opening their shuttered windows and doors and brushing things out, getting the dust out into the streets.
The Hat Man? No, he wasn't in a stall, was he? He had a building.
Yeah, Hat Man has a whole building.
We only see the Hat Man. Anyways.
Yeah, you watch as like the early morning light that about this time in the morning the sun kind of peaks out over the nearby mountaintops, the hilltops, and so the light sort of slants down into the fjord, kind of cutting through the air again, and it's highlighting the floating wizard's tower. And it looks perfectly lit, like for a picture. You can see the sort of aqueduct style looped wall around the outside is sort of gleaming white in the morning light. You can see the tower itself kind of glitters a little bit, and there's just the faintest little wisps of mist or thick fog that kind of curl over the edges of the stone and sort of fade after a couple of feet. And it sits there silently but beautiful. And then eventually you hear, a little later in the day,
Coming in.
This is me.
Fucking guess.
Okay.
assuming you don't go anywhere else and do anything else.
No, he gets himself cleaned up. Gonna head over to Brina's room. Hey, thank you for watching me last night. Yeah, that was very nice.
It
Did
was
you
fun.
touch my fucking loot?
I did not. I'm honestly deeply afraid of touching any of your stuff. Much
That's
less.
how I like it. That's how I like it, is the thing. And somebody touched my loot.
Wasn't me. Was any like was there a note? Like hello. You want your loot? I don't know.
I mean, I have the loot. It's here on my back, but somebody moved it across the room. And I'm wondering, what message are they trying to send? You know?
I mean, I'd say that
Is
you
it a
did-
threat? It feels like a threat.
Oh, well, okay. I'd say it was you, but I did watch. I tucked your ass into bed. So
I
unless
would never leave my loot like that. I've
Yeah.
never done it high or sober.
yeah, that's true. So, I don't know. You three was there. I'm not to mess with it. Isn't your loot like? I don't know. Isn't it mad when somebody touches it and it's not you?
I like to keep those things personal.
Mhm.
Don't touch my loot.
Okay. You need breakfast?
No, just this Bloody Mary.
Basically breakfast.
Yeah, I'm on keto, so vodka's keto.
You are never gonna shit again. Okay. Anyway.
I wonder, can I look out her window and see, is there like, you know, can I stick my head out and like look up, look down, you know, looking down the street and things, looking for anybody, any sign of entry in my room. I'm gonna assume it's like across the way.
No, so you go over and as you reach out to open it, and these are like I think like double French doors, but they have big panes of glass with like the squares, you know, of wood panes between them. As you go to reach for the handle, it's ajar, just ever so slightly. Like it's not perfectly closed, but not like latched. So as you grab the handle, it just sort of pulls open because it's already just like a quarter-inch open.
I
Did you lock your door last night, Brina? All right. Can I just take a peek outside, see if there's any like, you know, I don't know, like muddy footprint or anything on the wall or banister outside, like kind of looking over across at my room, the windows there. Because I assume, because mine were left open, weren't they?
Yeah.
Just for any old schmuck to walk in, huh?
It's like a survival check.
I'm very good at. You're sure not like perception? Because I'm
Tracks.
looking out the window. 18. Not bad.
Yeah, well, you see, there are footprints on her balcony. Like people have walked out and stood. Like she has walked out and stood. You see like large Norn footprints. You see a couple of human-sized ones. There's not like an overabundance of dirt. Like they're pretty well clean, and it is hard stone. But there are definitely footprints on the balcony. As you're looking from her balcony back to yours.
Yeah.
What are you looking for, Ruby?
Somebody touched my loot. Gotta make sure it's.
It looks like stone. No discerning marks or strange signs. No bits of cloth. Nothing untoward.
Would you say that this is a mystery or a prank? Or both?
Somebody's threatening us.
Okay.
I know it. I've been part of these bard battles before. First they start with, a picture of you or something, and then it's your face plastered on the inside of their wall. First they move your loot, and then they're cutting your arm off and feeding it to you. So that's it's a slippery slope. You never want to get into a bard battle with somebody, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
a price of doing business, I guess.
yes.
Yeah. So
I'll help you look for clues.
yeah, I didn't see any clues. I mean, they're careful about it too. There's no scuffs or anything on my loot. There's no fingerprints, no smudges.
If I were to take Bertie's loot,
No, they didn't take it. They just moved it across the room.
if I were to move Bertie's loot
Right.
across the room,
That's a puzzle. Maybe we'll get Carla. Carla will be able to.
Colin knows more things than
She'll fucking sniff them out. God, she's cool. All right.
Fuck, dude. All right, we start there.
All right. We'll go wrap on Carla at the store.
Hey, listen, I'm on the case.
Thank you, Brina. Now I can sleep easy at night.
I needed something exciting this week.
Yeah, we'll go get Carla.
Where do they find you?
In my room,
Did you hear a
eating
knock
like
on your
a
door?
shrimp omelet.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, where'd you get that?
Something called room service. They just bring you whatever food you ask for.
Oh, sure,
You can just
Barbie.
make up stuff too. You can just be like, put shrimp and egg, and they do it.
I like this. Take a note.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Carla, we ought to take you to like a party at Chobon's or something. Just to
Yeah.
experience it. God, yeah.
That's true. They had
You need a night out. Yeah, hit the tables, give you a couple $100 gold and just go crazy,
Maybe.
Anyways, Carla, I was threatened last night.
What?
Yeah. We're all kind of shook.
Who threatened you?
That's the curious thing is I don't know, but my window was open. Now, granted, I did leave it open to feel the air on my skin, but when I awoke, someone had moved my loot across the room. Now, it was in such an orientation that I would never put it. You never want to lean a loot up against something. It's going to put stress on the bridge.
Yeah. Did they take anything?
I'll be right back.
I'll go with him to his room.
Wait, I want to come in. We're just following them around.
The
We're on the case.
7-foot-tall Norn and the hulking Char and the little bard
March
squeeze
down
through the
this-
door into Birdie's room, and Kitri is like curled up in the blankets.
Wake up, Kitri. We have a mystery to solve.
Kitri says she didn't do it. Frankly, I trust her. I haven't
Is
ruled
this
out
about
any-
your loot again?
Yes, it's about the loot, Kitri. It's about the loot and possibly a threat on our lives. And you're sleeping.
Why do you
Oh,
think that why is it threatening our lives?
Well, somebody moved his weapon. They messed with it while he was sleeping.
Paula gets it.
Yeah.
Paula gets it.
Yeah, you don't do that.
I'm the first to make fun of Bertie, let's be honest. But
I mean, you also shouldn't just show up in people's dreams, but apparently that's something people here do too. So
Oh yeah, somebody showed up in Kitri's dream. So we got another one. The wizard guy.
God, not
The
The
he's
guy.
scared.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, if I had had that spell prepared, I could have, hit him, gotten back to him, kind of, returned the message. But
I want to look around the room carefully for any signs that somebody has been in here, like somebody broke in or messed with anything else.
Make an investigation check.
nip him out. And I'll kind of show her my loot too, and look for any. I'm
Like
still
30.
eyeing it.
The loot itself looks clean. Like there are no smudges or anything out of place. As you take stock of the rest of the room, you find that I assume Birdie has like a backpack, like with
Yeah.
stuff, like your gear.
Yeah.
Probably under your bed or something.
Yeah. Safest place to keep it.
As you're checking all around the room, you find that the backpack itself is also in like a slightly different position than you remember leaving it. There were a bunch of people in your room last night, so it could have just been knocked around. But Kala, as you kind of look through it, it definitely shows signs that the objects inside have been shuffled and moved, but nothing appears to be missing.
Check the sage. Is it still there? Did somebody come for it?
I can smell it.
It looks like everything's still here, but somebody definitely messed with it. Maybe a fan came and went through your things? I don't know.
Wouldn't be the first time. Are all my
Think they take
undergarments still in
something, though.
there?
There's a lot in there.
But are all of them there?
How many did you pack?
Just the usual 17, you know.
It's fine.
Pretty sure it's all there.
Right,
Yeah.
I'll go through my pack. Nothing's missing.
No, nothing's missing.
Did anybody go through my bag last night? And guys, you tell me now, I won't be mad.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I took care of you last night. We had a fun time.
If I did it, you'd never know.
That's absolutely.
That actually,
If I did it, you absolutely would. So.
I also can't argue with that logic either.
Is it just you, Bertie? Is it just someone after you again?
Yeah, Brina, have you checked your stuff?
That is a
Maybe
great
this is a
question.
shady.
What if they were looking for something
Brina scuttles back to her room while they're
and
having
they
this
didn't
discussion.
Something
find
they
it
thought
in my
you had.
room? They thought I
Yeah.
had something. Birdie's just counting out all the business cards in terms of how many does he have.
Someone just came and all they took was one
Making sure
business card.
all 58 are still there.
Yeah, everything is still there.
That's enough.
To the object.
Is anybody else's stuff messed with?
Brina will scuttle back to her room while they're having this discussion and see if any of her shit's gone. And she
You find that your pack is in a similar state. Nothing seems to be missing. But someone seems to
scuttles
have kind of
back.
gone through it and moved things around as though they were looking for something.
Bertie, what the fuck? Guys, get this. His loot was moved, but my backpack was moved.
Yeah,
Nothing's gone.
Kala. I'm running to Kala's room.
Yeah, I would have noticed. I don't.
Well,
Has my stuff been moved?
What all stuff you got? Like a bunch of weapons and
Ton of weapons. Yeah.
Any smudges on the knives?
Still clear enough you can see your own reflection in it.
Mirror polish.
I would say as you take stock of your inventory, because of how describe for me how you store your gear at night.
What will fit goes in the bag of holding. The weapons though are like laid out close by, so they're like all within arm's reach. The things that won't fit. It's very like a meticulous kind of
Very old
paranoid
Dexter.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Make another investigation check for me. I would say with advantage because this is your stuff. 21. At first you think it's hard to tell. It's possible that the bag of holding, when you set it down, you tend to drop it and then pull your hand back, so the top tends to kind of flop toward you. It's flopped kind of to the right, just a little. and you know you laid your weapons out in a very specific order, and they are still in that order. But as you look at each of them, one of your swords is just flipped the other way. Like it was put back in exactly the same position, but just flipped.
Getting pranked.
Bro, we're about to get all right.
Yeah, this is weird.
He pulls the persuader off his back. We're not playing around anymore, gang. All right.
Can I tell how somebody got into the room?
With a 21, as you walk around, I assume your doors, your balcony was shut and locked.
Yeah.
They are still locked.
The call came from inside the house.
The
Did
call
you
came from
check out the door? It shows no signs of forced entry.
Oh, fuck. This wasn't supposed to be a scary vacation. God damn it. We can't even have a nice time on vacation. We leave the house for one
Yeah,
day.
this is weird.
Is this like a room service thing where they come and just move your stuff from one place to another? Is that this?
That's not a room service thing. I've got 2 suspects in mind. 3. 1. Hat guy, Brina,
I don't know.
made a contact with a person we have not vetted. Okay. We do not know them.
That's
They're
fair.
an unsafe person.
There was 2 of them too. Okay. Number
Creepy
2.
wizard guy came into Kitri's
Absolutely.
dream. She has nothing worth
Yeah.
stealing, so you gotta go into the mind palace, I guess. Last one? That fucking kid who we saw up on the mountaintop.
I was gonna say the
I-
Raven.
Oh.
Well, a raven couldn't lift a sword.
Number 4.
Mm,
Right.
No,
that's
no.
probably
Number
true.
4, Raven. Number 3, that kid who I was kind to and should not have been. Looking back,
He doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem like he could do.
I
this.
gave him a little taste of wealth, and he decided he wanted some more.
But I think he would have taken some gold.
Maybe he just wanted to see what he could get. Somebody's scouting us. Maybe they're waiting till we get on the boat, and then they're gonna try and clip us or something.
Hmm.
Maybe.
We should check the other rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Also,
Alexa.
I don't know if Galatar's alive, but I mean,
He probably just woke up. It's gonna be a rough morning for him. Yeah.
okay.
We'll
He's
go find Alexa, I guess.
He's not
and
quite
see.
used to the rocky start, as it were.
Hanging out at the bar, drinking.
Yeah.
It's like, Alexa,
You come down with your Bertie, why is the gun out?
I would say he probably is not brandishing his weapon at this point, but he's got a hand. He's got a hand on it for sure. He's like, it's in his holster, kind of shit.
Strapped.
Alexa, calmly. I need you to rise from your seat. You can bring your drink with you. I need you to go to your room, check your bags. We're getting fucking somebody's here, man. We're getting threatened. We're about
Went
to get
through our
we're about to
stuff
get
while we
blown.
were
Yeah.
asleep.
Oh,
Very creepy.
well, if Carla says so, then I believe it.
Okay.
I'll hop up and go look.
You guys make your way up the stairs to Alexa's room. Galatar, you come to on a plush, velvet-lined couch. And you see there is a floating silken dish towel standing at your side, a small plate with a cup of hot coffee and a sugary glazed croissant. Kolinar is nowhere to be seen, but you can kind of hear the sounds of movement and activity elsewhere.
Yeah, I wake up. I enjoy the fuck out of the croissant. I write Kolinar a very nice, thank you note. And then tell him, in the note that I had to run, get back to my friends, but I really appreciate the hospitality, and then I'll be in touch about figuring everything out. And then I'll bamf back to Garenhof to the bar to get myself a nice morning vacation cocktail.
Okay. Yeah, you as you guys get up from the bar and you turn to head towards the stairs, there is a sudden and Galatar appears. fully
Pulls out the
clothed.
persuader, pointing it right at him. Don't you move! Oh,
Whoa,
Christ.
just came for a
Skeleton.
drink. Jesus.
Fucking bad.
You can't sneak up on us like that,
Holy
man.
Cormier, what the fuck, man?
We're on
Maybe
red
it was
alert.
him.
It was.
Maybe he was
Did you touch my
high
fucking
and
loot?
he.
Hey,
Honestly, I don't know if I did or not. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a pretty rough 24 hours.
Did you do it before you teleported away?
No, I teleported pretty naked right after leaving the bath. It honestly made for a very uncomfortable first few minutes with Kolinar. Kola, I do apologize.
apologize. for
We're
what?
supposed to let him know before we do that. That was the
Yeah, we
deal.
sure
You
are.
gotta give him warning. Let him know.
On the bright side, I think I showed him a really cool mystery, so I think I kind of made up for it, but no, I was definitely just an obnoxious ass. But Kolinar, real sweetheart. You did really well. He's great. Love that guy. 10 out of 10.
Anyways,
Oh yeah,
cutting
so
through
what
that
happened with
sexual
you?
tension.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Something about a loot?
somebody number one touched my loot.
Is that
And this
sexual?
sword.
Did you? Is it like an intercourse thing that you did, or?
I don't believe so, but frankly, I can't guarantee it.
Okay, because
They
that
touched
just
my-
sounds like an innuendo.
They touched my loot instrument. Well, again, easy to say, but
God damn it, guys, get it together.
he holds out the loot, like the loot in front of him. They touched this, moved it.
Oh, you're a really nice one.
Yep.
Well, that's
They're
not
both
cool,
nice
man.
And then apparently, I guess like went through all our stuff. Yeah, so we're fucking on the hunt. Get your weapons, get your spells. We're gonna cook one today. All right.
So fully on board with your plan. Also, just want to point out. So I was talking to Kolinar about the thing that happened that you all didn't really believe, right? And he came up with a really great solution, which is like maybe this place somehow links to like another dimension or another plane of existence, kind of like Alexa's lifeboat. And that's where I went yesterday. So maybe like those creatures that I encountered can come over here too, and maybe they just fucked with you. I don't know.
They don't even know who we are. Why would they just touch our stuff and then be like, "Bleh, ow."
Well, so they're like fairies, right? And so like I grew up reading a lot of books with fairies and things, and there aren't a ton of them, but like they can be kind of mischievous creatures. They just kind of like to fuck with things for the sake of fucking with them, kind of like Bertie with normal people.
You were serious?
Oh yeah. No, I wasn't fucking around, no. Yeah.
I thought
No, it
you
really
looked
happened.
I thought you were just kind of doing some performance art or something. That was crazy.
Tripping balls. Would you learn?
But thanks, guys. I
We were
really
both
appreciate that you
tripping
think my
balls.
performance art would be that's good. Thanks.
Oh, it wasn't. I just thought you were
Oh.
attempting it. Yeah,
No,
right.
no, that was my honest attempt at honesty.
Well, maybe we need to work on that. Yeah, and obviously, I was high. You were high.
That was rough.
That was rough, but honestly, pretty fun. So
it was
honestly-
good theatrics.
It was a lot of fun. I went under the water to avoid getting caught with drugs and came up in a weird location with a naked water girl. So,
yeah, that's why you're
naked
afraid of
water
getting
girl.
You
caught.
went where?
well, I went under the water and then I came up out of the water, and then I was somewhere else. I don't know.
Okay, so to
Whole thing.
review, Galatar
Yeah.
is doing the deed, I guess, with the naked water women. Great.
Well,
love to
no.
hear it.
Let's not
Kitri
sexualize
has
the naked
strange
water.
Yeah,
wizard
man.
men. Kitri has strange wizard men visiting her dreams.
Whoa, you've got strange wizard man? Who was it?
The guy from the tower, he said his name is Eastgaren. I told him to get out. But
Oh,
now
the guy
I need
who's-
to go. We need to go
the
talk
floaty
to him.
tower. That guy?
Yeah,
Yeah, weren't we
he's
gonna like fly
apparently
up
can't
there
be a
today?
normal person and just, send a note, ask to say hi, come out of the tower and introduce yourself.
Kitri, I love wizards. I mean, we're cool people, but we're also really weird and intrusively curious. So I mean, like, yeah, that checks. He probably is just a little bit of inconsiderate person. Sorry.
And then somebody went through all of our stuff. Alexa,
Yeah,
did you
sure.
check your things?
At this point, you guys make it back to Alexa's room.
Was anything taken or just moved?
Just moved as a threat. It's a threat.
And yeah, Alexa, as you look around, make an investigation check for me.
It's a threat.
I've been part of these bard wars before, and this smells like Ozymandias, frankly. Something he would have done.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
So I imagine.
You mean he smelled like beer and
Desperation.
So what do you have in your room? What's in here?
You know, just some like little creatures, things, treats, home treats.
What?
Pets are not allowed in this hotel, unfortunately.
You know, like
That's why I
sometimes
couldn't
they're
bring
like
biscuit.
big beetles.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh.
that's
Yeah, you're not getting your room deposit back.
But
Yeah.
I like to imagine you've got your pack probably under your bed or up against the wall.
Oh yeah, no, it'd be out. Yeah, I were on
You
vacation.
also have like an array of magic items that I think you carry with you. Are they in the bag, or do you put them beside it, or what does your packing situation look like in your room?
Well, I mean, yeah, I would just have my robe and the gauntlet probably be, like right beside it, and then what is the wand. That's the only other one I have. No, the backpack's not with me. The BFG.
Okay. So you wouldn't have worn all that gear down to get your drink at the bar?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you go
Well, I
back
would
up
have
to
the
your room
robe
and-
on because.
Clothing.
Because.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you notice that the like buckle that keeps your backpack closed is not fastened,
Oh,
and
yes.
the gauntlet is on, and the wand are like on opposite sides of where you left them.
Yes, everything is a little, I guess, crisscrossed now that you pointed out.
Don't worry, we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Do you
Wait,
guys
I never
wanna-
checked my bags.
No,
I
look.
don't actually know where they are.
Oh yeah, see if your stuff's fucked up too.
I
Yeah,
guess
did
I
you
never
leave your
really
stuff
went
in your
in
own
my room. I guess I would have like come there and put everything in the room and then had that all like, and I just never went back. So she's gonna run and basically go in her room for the first time.
All of your things are up on top of your bed, very neatly arranged.
Okay, that is a threat.
I mean, I think that's just how hotel staff does.
Is there any particular order to how the stuff is arranged on the bed?
I would say with great care. Like things that need folded are precisely folded. As far as like their placement with regard to one another, not really. Things that were in the bag are in the bag. It's just very neatly packed. Yeah, and it's very meticulously just sort of laid out evenly and symmetrically and nicely cared for. But it's certainly not how you left them.
Well, you guys, looky there. They folded my clothes.
Is there a mint on your pillow? It might have been room service if there's a mint on your pillow.
What I said.
I
Well,
mean,
guys,
but why would they fold my clothes?
This is a swanky hotel, Keith. You pay a shit ton of
What?
money for these people to do work for us.
Perverts.
I didn't pay for it.
What if
so...
it was just one of the elementals?
Oh, I guess that's true.
It could be. That's right.
Yeah, we
I
should
guess
ask
they're
the
basically the
manager.
room service.
My door was a little bit open, so I mean, maybe he whooshed in.
Mine was also open. I hate to say it, guys, but we've been through something like this before, unfortunately. And
Which time?
it's probably, well, that's rude. But it's probably a fan. It seems like something a fan would do, doesn't it?
Oh, like one of your fans? Yeah. They do tend to be a little, like, crazy.
Or Abby.
I can't help
Yeah,
it
I
if
don't
they get
think they'd
obsessed
go
with
through
me,
all of
you
our
know?
stuff. I mean,
I still think it was an elemental.
I think
like,
one of your fans wouldn't want to touch some of our stuff. They'd be like,
That's
"Oh, that's
true.
I guess
dirty.
we
it
could always.
smells."
There's other rooms on the
That's
floor. I
true.
guess we could see if the people are still there. I guess it's afternoon, so maybe they're not. But like, maybe it's like the room service. You come back in the evening and they've neatened everything up. I
Yeah.
don't know why all my stuff's on the bed, but Maybe they're trying to be insulting about the way I just don't fold my clothes. Maybe they're trying to make a point about my tidiness.
That's a good point though, Carla. I don't think my fans would want to sully themselves with your all's belongings.
So that kind of leaves our options with being like maybe an elemental, maybe room service of a different kind, or maybe
Wizard
the
guy?
extra dimensional fairies, or the wizard guy.
Or that kid we helped
Or
out
the
yesterday.
raven.
Or
Maybe
the
the
kid.
raven's not a raven.
Or the ravens.
Sometimes
That's 6
looks-
options.
Could be the raven.
Okay, our options keep going up. We should probably narrow this down. I'm gonna go with
the
the
raven.
raven.
The
Can't
raven
fold
is
clothes.
the raven is Eastgarens. It's the wizards.
Okay, so they're the same options. 5 and 6
So he
same
was
options.
he was creeping not
It
only
was
on my
suspicious,
dreams but
though.
also our just us in general.
Now, if it's like a familiar like Ibu or something, it's not gonna be able to lift a sword.
No. Too
It's
heavy.
not gonna have the motor skill to finally fold Kitri's shirts. Thank God.
I just like shiny things.
It's probably true. So I feel like that leaves us with like 4 good options. Kitri, did the wizard guy say to come visit him today, or was it just sort of like he tried to talk to you and you just told him to get the fuck out, and that was kind of the end of it?
It was more of the second one, but a little maybe more polite. I don't know. Did I curse at him? I don't
I
remember.
don't think you did.
Okay, so
Alright. Well, maybe we split up for a moment. You know, I'll go talk to the kid. It'll be fine.
I'll have to go talk to the manager.
You go talk to the manager.
does anybody want to come with me to talk to a fairy? See if I can make it
Another
work
name
again?
that begins with K.
I don't want to talk to the fairies. I don't know if I can offer any skills, and also.
That's okay. We get to go to a bathhouse, Brina. We just go under the water, see if it works. If it doesn't, we just take a nice bath and drink mimosas.
Where would my skills be best utilized?
Well, I heard drink mimosas and bathhouse.
Mimosas and bathhouses.
Twist my arm,
Subtitle.
guys.
All right. And then Kitri, where do you want to go? You want to talk? Yeah.
I need to talk to this wizard man.
Maybe we'll go together to the wizard man. I feel like that's
That seems
something we can.
Possibly dangerous.
I can get in there.
Shouldn't go alone.
No
Only if you
one's
make it
been. Has anyone
dangerous.
been like hurt by this wizard?
Not that's live to talk about it.
I've got qualms with the wizard though too. Can we all
Oh,
go
do you?
together if we're going to the wizard? 'Cause what?
Yeah, we could all just go to the wizard. That's fine too.
I can get us in the wizard tower, 100%.
Kinda?
100%. I'll get us. In
Guess
the
I
wizard.
could
I
always
wanted
just
to do
fly
with
up
the
there.
bird.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. Yeah.
The bird's
Okay.
not the best conversationalist. I suppose we could try and like be like, can come visit, and the bird could be like, caw yes, or like caw no.
I mean,
Or we
we could also
capture the
just
bird, and then he's
fly
gonna
up.
come to us.
Fucking steal the bird.
what? That's not just like if it says familiar. That's kind of a way to piss somebody off. I don't want to
Kitri?
anger.
But he
The
went
wizard
through our
guy.
stuff, you know. If
Kitri,
it was
you're a
him,
bird.
We don't know if
Yeah.
it was him.
We don't know if it's him yet. Let's not anger the guy that creates all these elementals just in case. I mean, I don't know how powerful he is.
Right. I think it was the elementals in our stuff. So yeah, that logic would be they just kill us in our sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin-
Also, I don't want to anger the guy because then what if they don't let us have drinks anymore? You know. Like I want to be able to stay here
own
and
a
keep
bar.
drinking. Yeah, but that's back home. Those drinks are not the same as like vacation drinks.
We have to pay for these drinks. They
The
taste
calories at home count. The calories here don't count.
There's no need for us to go in guns blazing. He probably
Right.
didn't steal our shit, but because he is a fancy wizard who live in tower, maybe he knows who does.
I say we strike back.
And then
better.
I'll
He's not
go in
going
there.
anywhere. So
We
let's
go
do-
in there,
do that
rearrange his
Also-
stuff.
let's get back to the questions we had
Ooh.
yesterday. What's up with the old people there? Are they living there?
That's right. The
No.
old
Maybe-
people.
Maybe he's rearranging their stuff, i.e., taking their organs.
Or their
Huh?
brains?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you think maybe he makes them think they have dementia because he rearranges their stuff to trick them?
Charlie
Oh
Chocolate
my
Brown
fucking
Factory.
god.
This is how it starts. This is the campaign of terror to drive someone mad so they have to go live in the fucking loony bin upstairs.
It's all a giant insurance scam.
Charlie Chocolate Brown Factory.
All right. Everybody, Kitri, can you capture this bird? Are you like,
I
you're
don't
sometimes
think-
a bird.
I I don't think capturing the bird's gonna be helpful.
Capture
Yeah,
the
I can try.
can we fly up?
I can talk to it again if I
I
can
didn't say
find
anything about
it.
being helpful.
Bertie, what was your like get us in guaranteed plan? Like what's that?
Easy peasy. I go up there, flying on my shoes or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and I just paint a door on the bottom.
Sure.
Fucking let that latch swing, baby, and we're in.
Okay, so it's still like just us breaking in. It's just we're doing it with your paints.
I mean, if you want to go for a listen, every route I'm going to suggest is morally, ethically questionable. Okay, I can get us in that way. I can try and sneak in myself and fuck with someone inside to let us in. If that makes you feel better, you know, let me take the hit. You were let in by the maid or whoever. They were just thought different
Normally,
at the time.
I would have a moral imperative to kind of try to do the right thing, but honestly, I'm on vacation Galata right now, so I'm just kind of living in the moment, you know? Like, I've got the mimosa in hand.
I
We can just go do whatever you want.
I can also just try and get in there and then leave a business card.
Kind of think if we just make it up there, he's gonna let us in because
Yeah,
nobody
at this
ever
point,
has.
we're a known
I mean,
commodity.
Is there
Yeah,
a
we
door?
could
There's
just
no
cast
door
fly.
or something. Like it's
You
just
guys
like a
just
wall
want me to,
all
if
the way
we
around,
can
right?
find the bird, we'll just ask the
It's like an
bird, and then if
aqueduct, so there are arches.
Oh, so if we just get up there, we're in.
I mean, like, you should
I
up.
thought it was like,
What are you missing?
wow.
And Alex and I both know how to cast flies. Like, we can easily cast it
Listen,
whenever you
guys,
want.
we got basically everybody who can fucking fly. We got magical paints that can get us into any room. Probably, I'm sure he doesn't have anything. And we can do. We're equipped. All right. We should
I think
talk to the
first,
manager
though,
first
yeah,
and the kid.
just in case
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, the elementals fold your clothes.
Right.
And then
This
all
would be
this was a
really
waste.
embarrassing.
Right.
also,
that's
if we see the
still
bird, we should
my
maybe
number
just
one
like
thought.
give it a heads up.
I wonder if we go to the burgomaster or somebody. Maybe they've had complaints like this before, like the
That's a
town.
good point.
Again,
I
you're
think I'm very
putting
smart.
a lot of horses before the cart of
I'm
just
just
asking
gonna-
the manager.
I'm just gonna start walking down to find the manager.
God, Kala's always so responsible. What would we do without her?
As you guys all kind of trail down the stairs to the
Not a
common
lot.
area,
Probably be
Um,
dead.
there's a young man sort of standing behind the bar, cleaning glasses and placing things back on the shelves. But you see the figure of Eugen Brewer, the barkeep, the tavern owner, brown, kind of shaggy hair, short, rough-cut beard, his bright green vest and the black paisley patterned cravat with like the gold filigree on it. And he sees you all sort of casting about, and Kala, you kind of lock eyes with him, and he clicks his heels and gives you a brief nod and starts to very crisply walk in your direction. Yes, how may I help you?
So somebody got into our rooms last night and went through all of our stuff. Does that kind of thing happen a lot here?
I should say not. No,
Okay.
our guests' privacy is of the utmost importance.
Somebody just like folded Keetree's clothes for her. It's very weird.
That's very strange.
Yeah.
I shall ring the sheriff at once and make a report.
Great. Okay.
Would you mind if Sheriff Redruth went into your rooms while you're away to investigate?
Could we? I would like to speak with him as well, frankly.
Very well. If you care to remain here, I shall bring him at once.
And my room's empty now.
Oh, you're like wearing your bag and everything now?
Yeah, all the weapons and everything now.
Please, have a seat. A round of drinks on the house. I shall return shortly.
Thank you.
I would like top shelf liquor, please.
Oh God.
Hey,
He
it's
gives you a
free.
long up and down.
I'm
like,
paying a
turns to
lot
look
of
at the
money.
bartender.
Yes.
Begrudgingly nods.
In that case, I will as well.
Can I just have some juice?
The young man behind the bar just says, "Of course, we are happy to be of assistance." And you can see like he grabs like 2 whole oranges and just starts to peel them. And as you guys kind of make your seat, you see like he grabs a little mortar and pestle and starts like squeezing the juice out of the orange into the bowl. And he sets you guys up with some pretty fine drinks. Heavy-handed pours. A couple of minutes go by, maybe 15 minutes, and Eugen comes back in, and you see him like gesture at you all, and he nods as a few of you make eye contact, and nods, and the sheriff comes in with his tricorn hat doffed and kept under one arm, and he walks right up to you guys. Sorry, not Captain Redruth, Sheriff Wainwright. And he just kind of walks up. He's got like a little frock coat on. It's sort of like a worn brownish color, but the kind of silver colored buttons is not like the cloth isn't silver, but the buttons themselves do appear to be actual silver. Knee-length breeches, high leather boots, hair kind of pulled back in a tight tail, sort of severe widow's peak, dark brown hair. He walks up. Yes, how may I be of service? I hear there was a break-in.
Yeah, somebody broke into all of our rooms and went through our stuff.
I don't think they took anything. Did anyone have anything that was like taken?
Nothing was
No, it's just
taken.
weird.
But everything was definitely like gone through. Like it, my clothes were folded, and I never have ever once folded a clothing item in my life.
Yeah, somebody moved my loot across the room.
Yeah, this sword was turned over.
And it was mostly just the bag.
The handle
And my
was the
bag had
wrong
been
way.
gone through. Like you could see, things were out of place. I never keep my sage in the front pocket.
This is very unusual. You don't know anyone in town by chance?
We have a
Anyone
couple
who
of
might play
suspects.
a practical joke on you, perhaps?
People love to joke, but
Uh,
I don't think this was an issue.
Well, but typically not with strangers. But you don't have any acquaintances here in town.
no, I think it would take somebody pretty powerful to sneak into my room and mess with my stuff.
And he kind of gives you an appraising look. I
Somebody
believe
pretty
you.
brave, too, I would guess.
Or stupid. But it,
Well, yeah.
I mean, you go into Kala's room, the first thing you see is about 13 or I don't know, how many, like 20 at this point, knives and swords
home?
laid,
Yeah, there's a
laid
lot.
out on the ground. That's not somebody, I think if you break into that room, you turn around, right? Like,
Well, it is not unusual for some of the smaller elementals to play the occasional prank, but breaking and entering is not something that has happened here before. I shall look into this immediately, of course. We have virtually no crime in this town. People are terrified of being torn apart by an angry fire elemental should violence befall people, but I shall do my best to ascertain what happened here.
Could you do an insight check and see if this really is a weird thing, or if he's
I would
like,
like to, yeah. Is this
like
something
it happens all the time, and he's just like, oh, this, you know,
so
Make an insight
strange?
check.
Yeah,
yeah.
19.
You gather that he's being truthful, that this is not something that happens often. That this is an unusual circumstance, especially when he talks about it, the breaking and entering part. You can clearly tell he is a little on edge about that aspect of it. Kala, you get just the slightest hint in the way he moves his eyes that he's trying to think before he speaks. It gives you the impression that there may be more information that he has as the sheriff of this town, but he does seem to be telling the truth about this being an unusual circumstance.
like common suddenly.
But please, there is no need to worry yourselves. If nothing was taken, then aside from breaking and entering, and seemingly the breaking part perhaps is an overstatement. It seems the only crime may have been trespassing on Mr. Brewer's property. But we will take this very seriously. And if I
I
am,
still think you're right. Is the elementals just playing a trick? They think this is a mountain out of a little molehill.
the smaller ones, especially the air elementals, the tiny ones, they can be mischievous. Um, it could be something else, and if it is, I assure you, I shall do my utmost to discover the culprit.
So this hasn't happened at like the hotel before, but did it ever happen in town? You know, to like the people who live here?
I mean, from time to time, there are small, what we would call petty crimes here. They are very rare, usually personally motivated, often by people who know the family or the individual, um, and who are able to come and go freely and not be angering the elementals.
Well, if it helps with your investigation, I am stalked somewhat regularly. It's just the nature of the business, I guess. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm somewhat of a well-known performer, and and people just get obsessed, and I get it, frankly. You know.
Do you think perhaps someone may have followed you here?
I mean, they would have to come on a boat.
It'd have to be really long.
Yeah.
Really determined, but pretty easy to get the hold of back in.
And it wasn't targeted at just me, which makes me think it could be a fan of the Trollskull Six, though.
Oh, so nothing was taken, so I don't know, is this something that we have that someone would want to look for? But we didn't have whatever it was, I guess.
Did anybody leave anything important back in LA?
I mean, what do you mean by important? Like everything
I
that's
don't
not
know,
on my
like-
person is back in LA, Kala.
This
Like
make me think
something-
now I'm gonna put more things.
People would
Do you
think
have, like,
you would
lockers
carry, but you
places?
didn't. You know, and
Oh, the big ass diamond. But I mean, who's gonna fucking?
I
Right,
don't
who's
think
gonna
anybody
steal
would think that's in a
300-pound
backpack.
diamond?
Something that would fit in a backpack, worth stealing, but you left it at home.
Sorry, do you have a diamond that's
Burger
won't fit in a
master.
backpack?
Burger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the size of like a large dog.
Priceless.
Maybe it's
Poor
the
Ziazova.
size of a small pig.
This is funny, yes. This is
So-
good. You had
Oh,
me.
it is
true.
really funny.
real.
Magic is weird.
It's one of those things you got to see to
I
believe.
say that
Don't
as
even-
a caster.
Magic diamond.
Listen,
Magic made it.
we're upset about the whole patching of the stuff, and the sooner that we can get to the bottom, this is
Of course, of course.
I'm
And
gonna have to
feel
sleep with
free-
my weapons on tonight.
Feel free to travel around the town. You needn't stay.
Blood out
I
of
shall handle
proportion.
the investigation myself while you are gone. There is no need to worry.
I'm
Thank you.
100% not worrying.
Sort
Yeah, I
of
mean they're lucky we didn't hear
Point
him.
with my drink hand.
Be
tilts
a,
his head and
be a
puts his
body to
hat
clean
back
up.
on and goes over, and you see he heads off in the direction of Eugen Brewer, and they start talking, and he's
I would
making
like
a
to
gesture.
eavesdrop for a second.
Okay. He goes like kind of far away, like the other side of the room, because Eugen sort of took off and went another place. Do you like approach to get within hearing range?
Yeah, I'll,
Have that
are they
cloak.
towards the bar or something? I'll pretend like I'm going somewhere and but be listening.
Yeah, there's like the tavern and common room, and there's a central hallway, and then on the other side there's like the concierge desk and some other chambers, and he's off in that direction.
I'll try to get close enough to hear without being super
You kind of make your way
suspicious.
into the central hallway like you're gonna leave the building,
Mm.
and you're adjusting your straps and stuff. You just hear the sheriff say, Yes, I should need the keys, access to the rooms. I believe they are going to walk around town for a bit. It will take time, but I'll need access throughout the day, I think. I might need to involve Mr. Schuster if it becomes complicated. We may need to bring in some extra help. I'm not sure. This is a bit of an unusual circumstance. And you hear Eugen's just like, of course, whatever we can do to be of assistance, sir. Just talking about the particulars of like getting him the
Okay.
room keys and stuff like that.
All right, I'll walk back over to everybody else.
So what do you think, Kala?
I feel like he wasn't telling us everything. Not sure exactly what he was holding back though. He seems concerned and like it's weird, but
Maybe you want me to see what we can scoop out of there, out of the old brain bucket?
No, Birdie, don't
I
do
feel like
that.
maybe we talk to the burger master now.
That seems like a good plan. But also,
He
wait, do you
might
not
also have more info if you want to poke around, you know.
and do you not already sleep with your weapons collar? Like that's where I got lost in that whole conversation. I just assumed
Not
you
on,
already.
you know, there was an arms.
Ah.
It's kind of hard to sleep with them all, and if you move the wrong way, you might get stabbed, you know.
That makes sense. I guess in my mind, I'm just like I always assume you've got at least 3 to 4 weapons on your person, ready to go.
You go like knife
Also,
under pillow or
Galatar,
something?
it's
Yeah.
vacation. Turns out we can't even relax on vacation.
Well, yeah, I mean, I assume normally Color probably
I
has like
mean, we
8
can
weapons, and
relax
Vacation
if
Color
you
has
all
like
would.
4. You know.
No, I brought all the usuals.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, I just got kind of lost because I was thinking like, oh, I would imagine Color typically had weapons, and not a whole thing. You're just very impressive with weapons. So the who are we talking to? The burger master, burger somebody.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could try
burger
to
master.
go talk to that kid we were talking to yesterday too. He
Think he knows something?
won't know until he
Maybe the
asks.
sneaky kid.
That's what
Maybe
I'm
she's
saying.
seen something she shouldn't have.
Yeah, those two. Put them on the case.
I'll get them both. Good idea.
And then do you want to go talk to the head honcho himself?
Yeah, we'll finish with him. If anybody knows secrets about this town, it's either the little kids, the burgomaster, or the wizard.
Okay, well, good
Alright.
luck with that. I will be drinking and maybe go take a bath. How long do you think it'll take you to talk to the kids?
Shouldn't take long.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done with the drinking and the bathing and the hot tubbing more.
Yeah, I'll probably go do that just to chill. I'm not gonna be much help in conversation, so.
I want to be
I'll,
on
Also,
Or
I
Brina
have
or
no
somebody.
clue how
Yeah,
who
I'm
you
gonna
guys are
go.
talking about, so I'll also join the bathhouse group.
I would like
Alright.
to be on the case. I'm coming with you guys. I'll bring
And
them up.
this gang you got going on here, it reminds me of the Scooby stories. So I think you've got it under control.
Oh,
The
Investigate.
Scooby stories?
yeah, we
Famous
talked about
Asuran detective.
Super Duper
Oh.
There's this whole team. They solved mysteries.
Mystery boys.
So who's going to the bathhouse? Galatar, Keetree, and Alexa. Gotcha. I'm gonna.
Let us know though when you're gonna go to the wizard. That's the only
Yeah,
part
we'll
I
go.
want
To, we'll
be
go.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like out of character. I'll go to the wizard together. Like we don't-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great project.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah,
Alexa.
we gotta leave the street children to Birdie. I mean, they're his specialty, you know.
Ugh.
Alright, so the bath crew goes and gets prepared, grabs some drinks to go at the bar, heads to the hot spring tub.
I guess where we
That's
were
where
last
we're-
time, yeah.
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 Maybe not
That
the
was
same
cozy.
room, because Galatar might have a little PTSD going on.
No, Galatar's pretty cool with it now. He feels like Kolinar has set it straight, you know?
There are a
Like,
couple of
It's another
chambers,
dimension.
and they all sort of open to the sky, but they've got tall walls on either side, giving a bit of privacy. But the low kind of almost like a sheep field wall in Scotland. It's only like 3 or 4 feet high. you have about 10 feet between the tub and the wall, and it's low so that you can see out over it. Just into the streets beyond, the tip of the wall is about roof height with the next building. Not quite that high. I would say like 8 feet off the ground. So you can see over it, and you can see the streets beyond, some trees. You can see the tower and the floating island, the high cliff walls kind of closing in on the fjord on either side. And at this point, it's getting on like 3:15, 3:30 in the afternoon. It's nice and bright, but you were in a shaded area, just barely covered by a bit of roof. And the water is nice and steamy hot. It smells faintly of like Epsom salt, It's very, very pleasant sensations. Bits of ground, not spice, but like ground lavender and things are nearby in case you want to grab a pinch and throw it in the water for a little bit of smell.
Is there any sage around for a hint of birdie?
She'll just
Say no, there's no
she'll like
sage.
Keitra will do like handfuls and then like throw it up in the air and druid craft it so it all starts to like bloom as it like falls into the water.
Okay. And you get a couple of blooms that sit and float on top, and
Oh.
kind of add a little bit of visual as well as olfactory.
Is there like a lip or like a rim around the kind of spring or somewhere that like we could put food and drink and whatnot?
There are some small like round tables that you can bring over and set your snacks and drinks on. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll bring over some tables, and then I'll do Kulinar's little fancy feast there, and conjures up some nice drinks and some juice, some cheese for Kitri, some nice decadent beetles for Alexa, and then for the rest of us, just some delicious snacks, pretzels, and the good drink snacks.
All right. Yeah, and there are like shelves and things nearby. And it's easy enough to they've got some knickknacks and some flowers and stuff. Easy enough to set them on the ground and conjure what you need all around you. It's basically just like dripping with delightful food and drink all around you.
It's perfect. Yeah. Oh, and just be careful. Don't go under the water trying to get away from here. You may end up in what could potentially be another dimension or plane of existence. Let's just, relax,
So
be happy where we
how it
are.
worked.
Yeah, I mean, you can try it if you want. I don't know if it'll work, but if you don't want to disappear to a random place where people tell you to freak out, just eat the beetle and be happy, I guess.
If I had the fork with me, but I totally left it in my bag. I hope that
Oh.
doesn't get stolen.
Well,
I
if you
would
want to
be
get back.
super bummed.
Oh no, you think it would?
No.
Maybe they just tune it for you.
Oh, I mean, it's a material plane fork, so it's easy enough, but...
Yeah, get it a tuning fork.
Oh, drunk Galatar is gonna be fun.
I'm not drunk. That was just my normal humor.
Oh.
That's uncomfortable. Okay, maybe I do want to get
Won't you
out
have
of here.
more drinks? Just
That
have
one
more
hit
drinks.
Mary just right.
That's because that's just a normal joke I'd make. Yeah, okay. Well, this is good then. Yeah, no, but if you go under the water, if you just want to come back, all you gotta do is go back under and be like, I just want to go back, and then you're good. So, do what you will.
If we didn't already have plans, yes.
We can do it later too.
Exactly.
Right now, we can just drink and snack and,
And yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm just gonna probe more about the other world and what he talked about with Kolinar.
Cool. You spend some time
Oh, yeah.
getting the details. The Scooby Gang goes where first?
Raggy.
I don't know. You all Burgomaster first. I mean, I'll go with you. We got to stop by the kids. Honestly, might be helpful to have intimidating people. I don't think we'll need it, but we're gonna play with sugar honey rather than vinegar with them. But maybe go talk to the Burgomaster first. I can help out in terms of greasing the wheels there.
That Burger King it is.
Oh yeah.
Double
You
down
guys
on that one.
cross the great plaza in front of your inn, this massive structure behind you, half carved into the cliffside. You pass by the large fountain, and there are a couple people kind of sitting on the lip and occasionally running their hands through it and just flicking the water off, cooling off. It's a little warm today, but not terrible. And there's a nice breeze that comes down from the hills and out to sea.
As we pass, do we see either of the kids from yesterday, either like the little girl who was sneaking around or the Yenna? I forget. I don't have my notes. I'm in New York with
Yenna or Aiden.
Yenna or Aiden. Do we see either of them around the plaza?
Or that raven.
Fucking right.
Make perception checks.
Yeah, we're fucking high alert. Fucking rolling out. Ooh.
32? Jesus.
I see where all of them are. They are not in a sight.
Kala, as you are looking around,
18.
you are certain that these kids are not in this plaza. And Brina, as you see Kala scanning, you're also kind of looking around, and no. No, not walking around. You can see, like, just down the street, you see the swinging sign in front of their establishment. So you know where it is, but you don't see the people.
Keep them in mind. Nobody's safe right now.
Birdie, as you're kind of scanning around, for a hot second, off to your right, there is a narrow alley between two buildings that is well shaded by cloth and drapes and things that have been stacked up tall, and there's just this black shadow of space between the two buildings. And you just catch what look like two animal eyes at night reflecting campfire light. It's just two gleaming eyes in the darkness. And even as you look at them, they fade, as though whatever creature was there had closed their eyes, and you see nothing else.
Okay.
It's
Hold up. He's gonna try and play it cool. I'll catch up with you all in a sec. I gotta poop. Just I thought I saw some eyes. Somebody's watching us. I think I'm getting the spooks, man. Let me I'm just gonna take a peek. Just stay here. If I disappear or something, take a look. All right. Birdie's gonna walk over towards that alley.
Okay.
And he's just gonna kind of, peek in. Let's see. I gotta have something, right? Like surely I gotta have something for this. Yeah, he's gonna be like, hello? Is anyone in here?
As you get close, you can see a little bit better as you.
He'll take his gem of brightness, and I think he can use it just to cast like light
cantrip.
Yeah. I think it's a light cantrip, and he'll cast it, like try and get a beam going down this alleyway.
Okay, yeah. So as you approach closer, things kind of start to resolve a little better, because what little direct sunlight is outside of this alley does kind of bounce into it just slightly. You see like the outline of stacks of crates, and there are like wooden beams sort of protrude from the buildings with canvas tarps over them, kind of shading the alleyway. As you light up your stone and hold it in, the whole place is just suddenly illuminated, and there is an explosion of activity as what looks like a flock of birds, and they just burst like out through the tops of the canvas tarps, like fluttering madly.
Yeah.
Feathers go everywhere.
Raggy indeed.
Huh.
It takes you by surprise, and you kind of flinch a little, and as you look back in, you see this like it's a cluttered alley.
Nothing.
Yeah, it looks like most people use this for some kind of storage between the two different buildings.
Have I seen any of those birds around before?
I mean, as you're looking, they're birds, pigeons, doves.
Okay, interesting.
The typical birds. Some larger crows.
Okay. Huh. Well, I guess I'll turn
Kind of look down.
back.
You see this
Yeah.
valley goes down about maybe 30 feet, and it hits another building. You see it kind of goes off to the left and right.
I mean, I'll go down the alley and just kind of take a peek left and right here.
Okay. And so you guys watch as Birdie sort of disappears into the darkness of the alley. A couple seconds go by, and you see the light that he's holding. You can watch him as he traverses down. You get to the end, and as you turn left, you can see that it's another kind of 30-foot dark, very narrow, only about 4 feet wide. You can see there are boxes kind of obscuring your view, but you see daylight. It comes out to a different part of the street, and as you look to the right, it's a little bit shorter. It's about 15 feet, and it's still a very narrow alley, kind of choked with debris and storage containers, barrels, things like that. And there's just a door to one of the houses, like a back door.
Interesting. All right, I'll go back out and meet the group. And just be like, I don't know, guys. Something's watching us.
It's gonna be so lame if we kill an elder dragon but we kill blackbirds.
I know. If we die on vacation, I'm gonna be pissed.
Cringe, you know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Let's go talk to the Burger King.
Okay. See, you can't. That was good. All right. Shit.
You guys head over towards the town hall, and the large double doors out front are propped open. They're kind of tied back with what look like little velvet ribbons. And a couple people kind of coming and going. You can see there are 2 or 3 people standing just inside, off to the left, talking to each other. One of them's sitting at a small rectangular table with looks like a sheaf of papers and writing something quickly with a quill. And every now and then he looks up and looks pensively at someone and asks a question, and they're talking and writing. But you can see at the end of this long sort of entryway, this rectangular shaped room, there is a large wooden desk of a dark stained wood, lots of rolled parchments and loose papers on top, a couple of different ink pots with quills sticking out, and sitting behind it is the familiar man with the slick black hair kind of pulled back tight against his head, a handlebar mustache, monocle firmly in place, and a just sumptuous red velvet frock coat, big white ascot at the top. And he's just currently scribbling in what looks like a small book, minding his own business.
We'll walk up to him.
His pen just stops, and for a moment he doesn't look at you, like it just stops, and then he looks at you with his eye without moving his head. Yes?
Hey, are you the burger master?
Sets the pen down, stands up and like pulls his coat kind of tight over his bit rotund midsection.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
And just says, I am the Burgomaster, Abraham Schulze, at your service.
Nice stuff.
Yeah, Carla, you should take this one. This
Yeah?
is, yeah.
What an ascot.
So, we were staying in the, Boardhart Inn.
Fjordhart.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. It's very fortunate of you. It's a fine establishment.
Well, somebody broke into our rooms last night and went through all of our stuff. And we just wondered if you'd heard about anything like that happening before, you knew anything about that kind of thing.
I'm watching his face to see if anything like recognition or anything pops up.
Make an insight check. He
Come on, baby.
loosens his monocle and puts it in a side pocket of his vest. And he says in what you determine is a very earnest voice, No, we do not have these kinds of problems here often. I assume you have reported this to the sheriff.
Yeah, he's checking it out.
As is his duty. I have utmost confidence in his abilities.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he doesn't deal with a lot of crime. Doesn't have a lot of practice.
Nor does he need it. But he handles that crime we do have.
But you've never had these kinds of problems before or anything? Nothing strange going on in the town, like somebody rifling through someone's room and not taking anything? Like 5 people in one night?
Approximately.
Oh, I believe that would be a first.
Well, this is exciting territory for all of us then.
Do be discreet. We would not want to give people a bad impression of our town.
Yeah,
Discretion
Yeah.
is our middle name.
Mm.
Greatly appreciated, I assure you. And I'm certain that Sheriff Wainwright will be able to track down the culprits.
You can't think of anybody who'd do something like this?
Offhand, no. We have very little crime here. It is not unusual for mischievous elementals to play a prank, but rifling through the belongings of 5 people in a night seems unlikely. And it would be bad for business, so we would not encourage this sort of behavior.
Oh. All right, well, we'll see you around then, I guess.
I am usually here and always happy to be of service to those who come to visit Garenhof.
Okay.
And with your 27 in sight, like you can see, like there's just a hint of disdain.
Yeah.
like
Right, but didn't get that he was holding anything back, right?
No, he seemed to answer all of your questions honestly. This seems like an odd situation.
Yeah.
Although he doesn't seem particularly concerned.
Yeah. Okay.
One last question.
Yeah.
Being a burgermaster, is that anything like being a pit master?
Burgomaster. Burgomeister. It's from the old Crichton. It means town master.
Oh. Hmm.
I mean, I don't.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
Just like
I fucking hates his job.
flips
Hates
his
his
tails
life.
out behind him and sits down gingerly.
Yeah.
Picks his quill up. Goes back to writing.
Wow.
Fucking adventurers.
All right. Well, should we go find some street kids?
Yeah. That wasn't very helpful.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think it really does anything here.
Yeah, I did you see what he was writing? He was literally just scribbling on a page.
This
He wasn't even writing anything.
Don't hit the musty.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go see if we can track him down here.
So you're just like wandering through town looking for random kids.
No. I'm looking for Aiden and Yenna.
Yeah.
And I guess
Sorry,
we
looking
could
for specific kids.
Yes, yeah. I'm looking for 2
Wandering through
kids.
town.
So if we can maybe we go back up to the well, we know where Yenna's
Maybe-
parents live,
Yeah,
right?
maybe start looking around the bakery.
Yeah.
You know the
Yeah.
baker.
Maybe I got a crazy idea. We know Yenna likes to like sneak out, sneak around, climb things. If we just post up outside the bakery, keep our eyes peeled, I'm betting within like a couple hours that kid tries to sneak out and start doing shit.
Probably.
Let's try it out.
Might already be sneaking around.
True. We could. I don't know.
Start the bakery, track her out from there.
You want to? Well, how do we? Oh, that's a tricky one. How do you lure a child out of their home?
I don't know about that one.
For the future YouTube viewers, we do not encourage this behavior in any
This
way,
will be
shape, or
My
flat
name is
for
Chris
Johnson.
Hansen. I'd like to have a seat right over here, Mr. Birdie.
Also, can't you just go like talk to her?
Well, I mean,
May
like,
just be in the bakery and we could just
all right, yeah, let's
like,
go
hey,
just
That would
walk
be
around
too
the bakery
straightforward.
first. Yeah, let's go
It'll
walk around the
take
bakery.
some time to make your way down through town to the next
Yeah.
level down. But
We'll go
eventually,
check out the
you
bakery.
find yourself approaching the familiar locale of the bakery. You see the two groups of seats just outside the door, and sitting on a table, just idly kind of kicking her feet, is a
How
little
easy is that?
tiny blonde girl.
Red
Yeah,
And
Clan.
we
as you guys
can-
walk in, she looks up with eyes wide and sees you coming. Mummy, we have visitors.
Let's order some of those cinnamon things.
Yeah, Carla, why don't you order
Call
some
for your
cinnamon rolls
mom.
and I'll talk to Yenna here.
Alright.
We remember her from yesterday.
Hey,
You guys
Anna.
walk in, you see Millie, the baker, come out. The Dutch doors, both halves are standing wide open, and she comes out, wiping some flour off of her hands. You see she's got it kind of spattered on her. Oh, hi. Welcome back. That was quick.
Yeah, we'd like some more of the cinnamon
Jones
things.
got the root
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah, coming right up.
All right.
And I don't want to be. It's gonna sound weird, but yesterday, I think your daughter might have been like snooping around at the, and
At the baths. Yeah.
I it's not a big deal for us, but as it turns
She's
out,
just a funny little monkey like that. She likes to climb things, don't you? And you see
yeah,
like the girl's eyes light up. She nods. She's playing with like a piece of string, twisting it between her fingers, like
the
making
thing
a
is,
Jacob's ladder.
something of ours went missing at the baths yesterday, and I was wondering if I could speak to Yenna, and maybe she saw it while she was snooping. It might have been good luck for us if she did.
Suppose. Hey, Kyle. Put on some more cinnamon rolls, would you? There's the dear. Thank you. You just hear like this of acknowledgement from deep in the shadows inside the bakery.
Thanks, Kyle.
She looks down. Yen, did you see anything strange when you were spying on these folks yesterday? And Yenna's just like kind of ignoring everybody, playing with her string. Mm-mm. Just people playing in the water. Millie just kind of gives you a look like,
You ever see people sneaking into the hotel?
Millie kind of furrows her brows a little bit, looks confused, and Yenna just shakes her head no.
Yenna, have you like to climb things, right? Have you ever climbed up onto the side of the hotel, maybe with those balconies?
Millie just kind of like snorts a little bit, and Yenna goes, "No."
Insight
Climbing
check.
straight walls.
Insight check that shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Reading
Roll
her
your
like a
insight.
book. 19.
She seems genuinely amused by the idea of climbing up a straight cobblestone wall.
All right. And you've never seen anybody sneaking in or out of the hotel? Maybe while you were snooping around somewhere, saw somebody that looked a little strange?
She thinks for a long time, and she kind of goes, and she keeps doing it, and at some point her mother's just like, yeah, no.
She seemed like she remembers something she doesn't want to say.
Make an insight check.
Make a roll for it.
You don't know human kids, or maybe you do. No, she's just being irritating.
Huh. All right. Well, I appreciate it. We'll just have to keep looking elsewhere, We thought maybe since she snoops around, she might have seen something, but I guess not.
Millie just kind of smiles a little bit and shakes her head. Yeah, she likes to climb, get into trouble. I don't think she meant any harm. She wasn't trying to see
please.
you. She was just seeing what she
Happens.
could see when she climbed up.
happens more than you'd
Yeah,
think. People are
just
always trying to
curious.
catch a peek of me,
Oh
you
no,
know?
she does it all the time. She
Yeah.
just loves to climb everything. Trees, boxes. Hey, Lord forbid you find a house with a awning close enough to the ground.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on her. Apparently, people tried to climb up to the wizard tower. We were saying yesterday. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Oh, well, you know, sometimes tourists come down here on vacation, they get really drunk, and it seems like a good idea to try to climb the chains. They're treacherous, they're smooth, they're not meant for climbing.
Yeah.
We've had more than our fair share of accidents, and
Yikes.
a handful of people have passed away that way. Which
Yikes.
is why we never climb the chains. Right, Yen? Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll just take the cinnamon rolls, I guess, then.
This is the worst mystery ever.
Damn it.
Why did you tell us about the birds?
You all saw it, I assume.
Yeah,
A bunch
you
of
would have
birds,
seen
like
the bird
fucking.
just like
Okay.
fly out of the alleyway, yeah.
I'm just picking her nose. She don't know.
Do we think it's worth going to talk to Aiden? Honestly, like the kid sounded as dumb as
I
a
don't know.
doorknob yesterday.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well,
As
maybe
you guys kind of talk
regroup
about
and,
that, you're still waiting on your cinnamon rolls because it takes a few minutes to cook them. As you say that, Yenna pricks up. Is Aiden here?
Maybe.
We saw him yesterday.
Oh. Well, if you see him, tell him to come say hi.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Seems like
Sure.
He doesn't come
seems
to
like
town
you're
often.
cool.
We don't get a lot of time to play together.
Where does he live? He lives up somewhere.
He lives on a farm.
Oh. I think we knew that. I don't really listen to kids.
Fuck, Birdie.
She just doesn't it doesn't register.
No, yeah, I
in her
wouldn't. It
brain.
wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
His,
for
his
her.
mommy grows crops in the ground.
Yeah.
They live
Okay.
a long way away. They don't come into town very often, but I like to play when he's here.
Yeah.
Beat up a lot of kids when he comes into town.
She like thinks for a second, genuinely puzzled. Like she's only just now realizing and says, "Well, sometimes, but they start it."
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
They always do. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, we'll be on our way. Thanks, Yenna.
Cool.
Yeah.
Waves. And
When you're
continues playing
being
with their string.
sneaky, you gotta move slow and walk like on the balls of your feet, you know?
She kind of gives you the squinty look, and then hops down from the table, and starts like over exaggeratedly doing the
Yeah.
motions.
Yeah, like that.
Pretty good. A couple minutes go by. It takes about 15, 20 minutes to cook like fresh cinnamon rolls from
Yeah. Yeah.
what they've got inside.
That tracks.
You smell it the whole time. There's just this gorgeous aroma wafting out of this place. And yeah, eventually you find yourselves walking around town with piping hot cinnamon rolls in your hands.
All right. Maybe we should just find the others and go to see if we can get up to the wizard tower.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you see
Are we
birds,
gonna have to fly up there?
I mean, we can find another way if we want.
I think it's a good place to start.
Yeah. Probably an easy one. How high off the ground is it, would you say?
The stone, like the chunk of earth that it floats on, or that the structure is built on, is hovering probably 600-700 feet above the water.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to climb the chains.
Honestly,
You do want to climb or you don't?
I kind of want to try it. I feel like I could do it.
I feel like
No.
Kala could do it. Brina, love you to death.
Hey, man.
I don't think that's your jam, boss.
Margin of error would be pretty rough. I'd like
Yeah.
to see Paula do it. I can be on standby and fly next to you. Offer encouragements. I don't know.
Yeah, we
I feel
can
like
be...
it would take a long time though, so maybe
You get the
No.
head start.
we have a faster way.
Well, then I think we do have. Let's go find the others. We'll talk about this.
The rest of you in the hot tubs.
Your sawdust.
Is there anything you want to accomplish while they're investigating?
Jay chilling.
Cool. And Alexa's getting details on Galatar's experience.
And also, how many mimosas can we like fit floating in this bathtub?
Oh, great question.
As we just keep getting more. I mean, it's day drink vacation.
Yeah, and also we can see who can down more shots in this amount of time.
Jesus fuck.
Gonna
Yeah.
go meet the wizard today, and
You
y'all
guys
are gonna be
like
turned.
seriously throwing down trying
Oh.
to get drunk in a hot tub?
I'm hammered.
I would say
I
you
am
guys have a-
absolutely trying to get drunk
Yeah.
in a hot tub.
The fucking
It's just
group
trying
mini
to-
planning shit. I'm
a
on
point of
vacation.
exhaustion.
I want to
What do you
reiterate,
call
I'm
it?
on
Not getting
vacation.
drunk.
Yeah.
Keetu's gonna rehydrate with some juice. Yesterday was a little
Yeah.
traumatic, I guess, for her, so she's probably just wants to like actually relax and not get like zonked up.
Oh no, this you just have a point.
Oh, that's it.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, like if you're doing it on purpose, there's no save. Like
Gotcha.
you're getting trashed, you have a point of
You
exhaustion.
made this fucking choice.
Do you want to see who can last longer? Yeah, no, we're just getting trashed. That's fine.
I hope we get in a fight with the wizard and you bitches are just like slinging spells. Not a care in the
I
world.
hope we get in a fight with the wizard and we're drunk off our ass. Good luck.
I don't think that's true.
I mean, yeah, like I'm not
I mean,
fighting
good
no
luck-
fucking
good luck
wizard.
without
Your
Alexa and
level,
I-
you probably still
yeah.
steamroll him.
I don't know. Well, yeah, unless he's like level 20.
Well, he's got more elementals than we can
Even if
count.
he is level 20, we'd probably still see from.
I don't know. A ninth level spell could focus up pretty damn good.
Meteor swarm. You're done.
I got my cape of the dandy, man. I'm good. I'm okay.
It is
Kill
a
all of
pretty
your
good save.
goddamn saves with your points of exhaustion here. Slam
You
back
guys
shots
roll
at
into
noon.
the to the bathhouse, and Keetri is like comfortably reclined, sipping on a cold beverage, eyes wide, and enjoying the sunlight and the bird song. Galatar and Alexa are like sloppy drunk, like trying to make glasses float on water.
And
Aren't
playing a
designed to do
mean
that.
game of beer pong.
Each one of these glasses is a different plane of existence, and they all exist this close together.
Holy shit, I finally understand why the ball is so hard to make it go in the glass. Oh, that makes so much sense.
Guys, it's fucking noon. Come
No,
on.
Hey,
it's
no.
not, no, it's like, it gotta
About
be later.
4:30 at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh, okay.
Jesus, you're bad at time.
We are
Wait,
under-
were you drinking too?
Are you sober?
Man, I just don't understand what the sun goes. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions of me.
All right, so we were thinking, we talked to the burgomaster and one of the kids in town, and nobody knows anything.
About what?
so,
About our stuff.
About the current threat
Oh.
facing the
Oh
Trollskull
yeah,
Six.
that's where you all went. I forgot.
Yeah,
You've been gone a while, to be honest.
someone touched my loot. Are we just gonna let that go unanswered?
Yes,
He said loot.
we got a lot of loot.
Are useless. But we're thinking
Somebody touched Bertie's big
Ow.
diamond.
I'll fucking restore both of you, and you're fucking sober as shit. All right.
Damn it!
Don't threaten
Do you
me
know
with
how hard we had to
overtime.
work to get there?
Yeah, I do.
Jesus.
I do. Yeah. So watch your fucking mouth, huh?
It's an entire 2 fucking hours we wasted. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's really
yeah.
funny.
several gold down the drain.
No,
That's fine.
that's a lesser restore. That's just a poisoning.
I made it all for free anyway. It's fine.
All right.
Stupid.
Do you all want to go? Well, fuck you, Slosh. You can go to a wizard tower like this.
Probably wait for tomorrow.
Probably wait
we
for
can
tomorrow.
go. We can
Oh,
go.
It might be useful to wait till tomorrow. We can put up a watch, see if we can catch somebody coming into our rooms.
Can we just go tonight? Because honestly, I want to enjoy vacation. It feels like this is going to be a whole thing.
What
You
if
know,
we
like-
just go for a walk around town? You know, we can get some food, and we'll see if we see the bird. If we see the bird, we'll be like, "Hey, can we talk?" And maybe they will be able to pass on a message for us, and we can get an invitation up to the tower. At the very least, let's just go out and like get some food.
Whale burgers?
I'll say that too. You missed a lot of things yesterday.
Yeah, maybe some veggie burgers or something would be
Maybe
better
just
for
some
Galatar.
No,
Yeah.
no more
Regular
whale?
burgers.
What happened?
Don't worry about
We
it.
don't,
lot.
we don't talk
A
about it.
lot.
A
We
single
don't.
tear is just welling out of Kitri's eye.
God damn it, Skeletor.
Yeah,
But it was
well,
their specialty. I'm so confused. That was like the thing that everybody was talking about yesterday. What?
Honestly, I'm
Sensitive to
kind of
what?
confused too, but it's not on the menu
Oh,
right now.
Okay, this is. I don't understand what's happening. But
Ally.
so we're
I
just
really
getting
just want
dinner.
a burger for some reason.
Oh, did you talk? So I'm
Wait,
confused.
I mean, you can't get one from the Burger Master. That's
Wait, he's
not
not a
what that
cook.
is. No.
Oh,
okay,
False
we all knew
advertising.
that though, right? Like,
No, everybody
Yeah,
I've talked to
yeah.
has said burger master. I assume the guy made food.
Alright.
Of course we knew.
Master.
frankly,
Okay.
I hate this feeling that I'm one of the responsible ones at the moment.
It's a hilarious change of roles.
Here's what we're gonna do.
We're on vacation.
We're gonna go get some food.
Okay.
Burgers.
We're gonna
But-
on the way, if we see this crow or raven or whatever the hell,
Nevermore.
I will give it a business card such that the wizard will know where we are if he needs to get in touch.
Wizard already knows.
Then
Always.
we'll go to
That's
sleep.
not how the business cards work.
We'll go to sleep. Okay. And we will rest. Those of us able will maybe take a watch tonight
Mhm.
just to make sure nobody's like, coming back to finish the job. Okay.
Okay.
And then in the morning, if we haven't had a response from the wizard, we'll go up and talk to him. Unintoxicatedly so.
Could we just message the guy?
Well, I don't know what fucking mind
don't
powers
think
you
so.
have, but I can.
I mean, Q3 Solomon is.
No, I still haven't met him yet. If he comes into my dreams, I could.
Maybe we write a message on the business card like, don't touch my stuff.
Hey.
Yeah, I honestly,
Yeah.
I think this is not a friendly business card. This is a, hey,
This is a card that means
pop off,
I don't care what we do as long as there's food and I don't have to stay up tonight to set watch. Those
Yeah.
are my only two conditions.
We can make that happen. All right, let's go get
Okay,
some food then.
I'm cool.
it's me, the guy.
You guys just eat at the inn, or do you wander around and find stuff?
No, what fancy food is there to be had here?
Bob of sorts. Well, the whale
The
steak.
inn is quite well stocked. I mean, it has a wide variety. There are enormous whale meat steaks. There are also,
Is there any vegetarian
like
option?
tuna dishes, enormous like tiger shrimp, lobsters, crabs. There's like a variety of earth, like root vegetables, cabbages and lettuce. There's fruit from the nearby farms. There's like beef and chicken and lamb, although that is in lesser supply because the sea is just more bountiful and it's closer. But there are like dishes of sautéed vegetables, like ornate salads with like cranberries and nuts. Like it's high end fare.
Is there anywhere that does like a jambalaya?
Not in this town, I would say. Yeah, this is more like German food. It's like sausage, wurst, kraut, like definitely
about-
northern vegetables.
How about we just go somewhere and get a nice seafood platter? Some shrimp,
Shrimp,
a
like
non-feeling
maybe,
in
like 4
soulless shrimp.
lobsters.
So,
Or
lobsters,
lobster sounds good.
very well known. They do not have soul. Um,
I can just
And-
eat the ice chips off the plate.
So, like,
well,
Wait,
they'll have vegetables too.
They have
fruits.
No,
vegetables.
maybe the
Yeah.
lettuce the serve on the
Ooh,
side as like
green
garnish.
Yeah, we'll get some cantaloupe maybe.
I have cabbage.
Oh.
That's always good. The cabbage.
Kelp. We can get some kelp.
Take a bite of the
There are
cabbage.
plenty of places with like soups and stews,
Yeah.
carrots, potatoes.
Yeah,
You
lobster.
like you like carrots, right? Carrots are good for you. Yeah, I want some lobster.
Vegetables probably have a soul too.
No.
We can discuss.
Yeah.
It.
And it would make sense if they did, you know.
You're drunk.
Just food for thought.
And
So what are we
your-
doing?
Your meals are included at the end.
Yeah, we'll go to the. I'll go to the
Yeah.
end.
Ugh, such boring things.
It's
Okay.
like going to the
we'll just do the
Greenbrier.
end.
You know, you don't.
Yeah,
don't
that's what
leave.
I'm
They
worried
got good
about.
food there. Yeah.
So it's easy enough to get a good meal. And yeah, I'll say by the time you guys get to there, get dressed and ready, go down and eat. It's probably closing on like 6.
Lame.
Starting to get a little dimmer as the sun kind of westers. It starts to dip behind the hills, but it's still going to be light for a little while.
Yeah, so I've only been awake for like 4 hours. Is there anything anybody wants to do? Because, you know, like, it's going to be pretty boring if this is kind of it for the day.
I took a nap in the park yesterday.
Oh, how was that?
Really nice.
Hmm.
E3 said hello.
That sounds nice.
I did.
Oh, we threw some shit into the river. That was cool. This is like a charming little seaside town, so I don't think you're gonna get like fucked up unless you really want to.
I mean, vacation, but yeah,
I read the
I
book.
don't know.
It was pricey. I started the book.
Oh, what book you start?
Peanuts Big Adventure. You're not you know the one.
Oh, yeah, it's a classic. How far did you get?
Probably like 7 pages.
Wow,
Yeah.
Very
I
that's
did
It's a
And
real
pretty
real
far.
page turner.
babysitting Bertie for the second half.
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to read and babysit at the same time.
Yeah, that and the words got pretty crazy there. A couple of pages in. So.
That
Anyway,
does happen.
trying to expand my mind.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
This adventure is pretty big. So.
Pretty big. Yeah,
Oh.
pretty big mind adventure for you right now.
this took a weird turn.
Representation in the book.
That's wild.
You know, it goes on. Anyways, I don't want to talk about my reading habits anymore.
Yeah.
When we reach a stopping point, it is getting to that time.
It is. So what's the plan after dinner?
I think Birdie's plan at least is like, you know, just kind of hang out in the evening, and then when we go to bed, post a watch at least among maybe the 4 sober people who are willing to stay up,
Brave.
and just keep an eye out in terms of people coming into a room or something,
Keep an eye out
or
on.
rooms, or you know, I don't know, and then, you know, in the morning, if we haven't seen anything, go for the
Yeah.
wizard.
Are we all sleeping in the same room?
Mm.
Or like,
Also, can we sleep? How does that? Because you said we couldn't sleep if it's not like it hasn't been essentially
Well,
24
you
hours,
don't get
right?
the
You're not
you don't get the
high.
benefits of a long rest.
Okay, so we
Twice,
can
24 hours?
sleep, but it just wouldn't be.
Yeah. You don't like recover exhaustion and points of like your spell abilities and stuff like that.
So we're
Although,
still exhausted
I
for
would
the
Yeah.
next day.
like if you guys
Essentially,
got up
yeah. At
at,
2?
well, those of you who got up at 2 would not be able to get the benefits of a long rest until 2 the next morning.
Jesus.
Although I would say if that is a 12-hour period, so dial that back. 2 o'clock, 1, 12, 10. So let's say 10, because that like 8 hours would have been done at like 10 a.m. Even though you slept later, you got the benefit of a long rest by finishing a rest that would have ended at about 10 a.m. So about 10 p.m. I guess that's 12 hours.
So would it be 2 a.m. as well? Have to be like 16 hours, and then you can get the 8-hour benefit
thought it's
because then
full
it's
24.
24.
Y'all wanted to do fucking ayahuasca day one of vacation, so that's on you.
Look, I'm just trying to live. Just trying to live.
And you're all
That's a good point.
Well,
Alexa
so
ain't going to bed
this
right
evening
away.
we could look for like that raven or something, or you know, keep an eye out
That's
for
all
it.
Keecher was gonna say. Was she was just gonna take a stroll about the town, you know, go see the sights because she didn't really do that yesterday. And if she sees the raven, she would like talk to it again. But besides that, she doesn't have any like specific evening plans.
Yeah.
We'll say, just for the sake of moving things forward, that like around about midnight, you guys are already tired. You are able to go to sleep and take a long rest if you wish. I'll just say that's doable. Before you get to that point, if you want to walk around town, I will say that most of you have a insanely high passive perception. You do notice the raven flying around or occasionally like sitting on a rooftop, but it keeps its distance. It's not like in a tree by your head or anything.
Is it possible to try and make contact with that boy?
We can.
I could send
Cast
yell
speak
at
ebook
with
it.
to him.
animals. I can cast speak with animals again.
I can shoot it.
Oh,
So it keeps its distance, and if you try to approach it, it will
Fly away.
take up and like it lands within eyesight,
yeah.
but not necessarily within earshot.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
Just enough to make you look crazy.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll just like, you know, I'm assuming I'm walking around kind of keeping an eye out for this thing. I see it. I go sit on a bench and just like kind of on the bench, I'm going to leave a business card. Okay.
Casual.
I'm just going to look at the bird, kind of point down to the card,
Okay.
get up, be on
Did
my
you
way.
write anything on the card? Or
Absolutely
is it-
not.
Okay.
I was gonna say
Alright.
leave the fucking stuff alone.
What if we write a letter,
Absolutely not.
fold it up, and put Isgaren on it, and like hold it up? You know, maybe the bird would come and take it.
I think the business card kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's a request. It's like, hey, let's get in touch here.
Call me.
Yeah, call me.
What you
And
did?
it says everything it needs to. I mean, I've got the printout. It says like it's so ridiculous. It's like the Trollskull Six with Bertie the Bard and fiction, and then it's like at the bottom it's like and Petrie and Gala. Yeah.
Everything you need
Alright,
to
so
do.
you leave that on the
Yeah,
bench.
I just leave that on the bench, and then I'll kind of back off, and then try to like stealthily keep an eye on it from like
Yeah.
and see because if some schmuck comes along and takes it, I'm gonna go fucking get him.
Put that back.
Yeah.
Hey, put
So
that back.
at like this hour of the night,
Yeah.
there's a nightlife here, but it's not crazy party.
Yeah.
And so like there aren't a terrible amount of people running around and needing to use the bench or anything like that. There's not a lot of foot traffic like out in the walkways. So you kind of keep an eye on it as long as you can, and the card is fine. No one comes to pick up the card.
Right.
And as you guys kind of move around town, the raven, sometimes it flies away.
Yeah.
And then you guys will like round a corner and you'll see it on like another building. And it's just, sometimes it's looking at you, sometimes it's looking elsewhere, and it's looking at other things, but sometimes it turns and sees you again. And yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what it's doing.
Yeah. Maybe I'll take the business card. We'll see.
Do you leave it where it is, or do you go back and get it if it doesn't get picked up?
Just keep picking it up and putting it down in different places. Smooth operator. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'll just leave it where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the card.
Yeah, I'd like to think when he did it, he kind of like, kind of showed it.
Yeah.
And like, not put it like flat on the bench, but maybe like kind of stuck it in the side.
It in where you
Yeah,
could.
so it's not like super obvious, but it's
also not just gonna blow away in a breeze.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're leaving a message.
Leaving a message.
Quite literally a calling card.
And as you go out the rest of your night, it starts to get darker and quieter. And eventually, the midnight hour approaches. You all feel the call of sleep. Presumably, you all return. You, I assume, close and shut your windows, your doors to your balconies.
So if we're setting a watch, are we all together or?
Yeah. Also, did we each have individual rooms?
You had individual rooms.
I mean, I'm not sleeping with a group.
All right.
Alexa's trying to find some night companions.
Oh,
I'm
Christ,
fucking trolling these
Fucking vacation.
this family town. Like
You are on your own.
This is like we're rolling around
Galatar.
Disney World, fucking like.
I would say.
Disney guys are crazy.
So
Hey,
when
Mary
you guys
Dads.
first got here,
Yeah.
everyone would have gone to their own rooms and seen their own rooms, got the key. Presumably, when you bamfed back to LA, you would have left some stuff in your room.
Oh yeah. I would have only had my robe and like my components and stuff that are kept in my robe and my sword. That would have been it.
So when you walk into your room,
Mhm.
your pack is on your bed, and it's basically sitting to the side, neatly folded and totally empty. Everything you had in it is just meticulously laid out on your bed. Like
It's actually really nice.
like similar items are like grouped together, but it's very much like someone laid out every single item you had in your pack that you had put in your room and just like organized it, cataloged it, and just left it sitting out.
Galtar like takes out a sheet of his little paper or whatever and a little ink pen and just starts making notes on his inventory because he's been meaning to do this for a while and now somebody's like meticulously laid it out. It's perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, what is the plan for the watch?
Well,
I don't think we should.
Are we all sleeping in the same room? It just seems very crowded.
If we're gonna post a watch, it doesn't really help to be in different rooms.
what
Unless
if
someone wants to sit in the hallway, but if you think they're coming through the windows, that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Galatar? What
But
if
the
you
easiest
make
way
a,
to get to all of our rooms would be through the windows, or coming through the doors.
What if I make a what? I can put up the mansion thing if you
Yeah.
want.
What if you put up the mansion, and people stay in there, and then the person on watch just stays in the room or something? I don't know.
Yeah, we could do that. I could also, if you want, set up an alarm so it would trigger if anything came in and out of the space.
That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I could set it so it wakes all of us up if something comes in and out.
And how big a space can you do that on?
I think it's a 20 square foot space.
Oh.
Like 20 feet by 20 feet, or
Yeah,
to 400 square feet.
Yeah, that might be good.
10 by 10, something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see, alarm. 20 foot
What if-
cube.
What if it's like the IRS coming to do like a fucking inventory of all our assets?
Have you done tax evasion?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never claimed it
Oh.
either.
Nice.
I mean, it's-
They're write-offs. You know.
The diamond's in the extra dimensional space, right? So, like, as long as that's good, I mean.
Yeah, I think that's in the bar now.
In the
What are the
bar.
Oh, is it? Oh, we should
I thought
really
you
put
guys
that
left it in
somewhere
the bar.
safe.
Yeah.
That shit's gone.
Because it weighs like 600 pounds.
Repoed.
Who's gonna? All right. Yeah.
So the plan is you guys are opening the mansion, and you're casting alarm in the room.
Yeah.
All right.
On the window or just in the room period?
How big are the rooms?
Does that work? Do you have to be on the same plane for alarm or?
So when I cast alarm, I just set it against unwanted intrusion. I choose a door, window, or an area within range that's no larger than 20-foot cube. Until the spell ends, the alarm alerts you whenever a tiny or larger creature touches or enters the worded area. When you cast the spell, you designate the creatures that won't set off the alarm and who the alarm is audible to. And that's it. So yeah, it doesn't say I can't leave the plane. But
You can fit the alarm around the entire interior of the room.
yeah, so whose room do we want to do? Is there somebody whose room was especially
Probably
touched
mine.
or
Probably
just
mine.
okay?
Honestly, probably
Yeah.
Morpheus.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
mean,
that was
all of Galatar's stuff is out and strewn around.
Yeah, but somebody touched my loot, so kind of the same
Someone
level
touched
of magnitude.
every single piece of Galatar's backpack contents.
Just so sexual every time Bertie says
They
it.
might have licked it even.
Yeah. Maybe.
cool.
Okay, my room's this way.
All right, so you guys go in and get settled.
Somebody licked my stuff.
Yeah.
Galatar casts the
Weird.
alarm.
Only if you're lucky,
Perimeter.
Galatar.
Yeah, I
The
cast
mansion. Uh-oh. Chandler froze.
Cast froze.
Alexa. Will hear the alarm.
Who
I'll
will
let
hear them?
Alexa, everybody but Alexa. I'm letting Alexa
Oh,
do her
gotcha.
own thing since she's off having her nightly companions. I don't want to disturb her.
Yeah.
Did I miss that part? Did Alexa say she was going to go out and try
Well,
to find
yeah, I
a-
was gonna go have fun and party.
You
Okay.
said, fuck it, I'm
So are
having
you
vacation.
not staying in the hotel that night?
Well, no, I mean, well, since we're moving to the mansion, I will, but maybe just for quick evening. But no, I'll be with the group for the night since we're pivoting to everyone staying in the same place.
Don't worry, when I create
One
the mansion,
night-
I'll make Alexa an
I
extra
am
large
going to let
bed for
you
tonight.
decide what you did in the hours leading up to
Hmm.
midnight.
Yeah,
There are plenty of adventurous young townies, you know, that are always kind of like watching as the tourists come through, looking for the adventurous types, if that's what you're looking for.
no, I'll end up with the group though.
Cool.
No one's up to Alexa's standards.
Sure.
So you guys post a watch. Someone's stepping outside of the mansion and staying in the room during their watch.
Yeah.
So who all's posting watch?
I'll take the watch.
I'll take one.
I'll take one.
Petrie. So everyone but Galatar and Alexa. Because they're drunk.
And we will not hear the alarm, right?
We will.
You will, because I
Okay.
can make it mental or audible. So
Okay.
Make it mental.
So I can make it so it just goes off in the mind, or I can make it audible so that anybody within 60 feet can hear it.
Pricing.
Fucking trap set. Huh?
Ah, yes, our master plan. Not gonna know what hit him.
Uh-oh.
So we are about to stop because it is getting late. I was trying to think of how this would work. You guys have set up obstacles.
Also, wait, who's taking watches?
Everyone but you
Rena,
and Alexa.
Paula, Birdie, and
So the 4 people that are taking watches, I have see invisibility prepared. Can I cast see invisibility on each of those individuals? Because it's not a concentration spell and it lasts for 8 hours. Is that okay?
the invisibility doesn't last for 8 hours.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. I thought see invisibility lasted for 8 hours.
I think it's
It's not
1
a
hour.
concentration. Is it only 1? I thought for sure it was 8.
It's
And
either an
I-
hour or 10 minutes.
And it's also only self.
Oh, is it?
I have it.
I thought it was
It's 1
other
hour.
people too.
Nope.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Dang.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Only an
duration.
hour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I have limited blind sense within 10 feet.
Mm.
I sure don't. So
That'd be good.
I have dark vision because my goggles and I'm thankful for it.
My giggles. They give me the dark vision.
Oh.
And Birdie's just
Alright, cool.
sitting on the bed, persuader in hand. Probably loot in hand, to be honest.
Persuading.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking like, deep underlich is like getting into our rooms that can get around on this shit?
It's like a panty sniffer, but with our belongings, and then just putting it all back. And I'm deeply upset
God.
with it. What
So-
pervert wizard?
Okay. I tell you what, I'm gonna have to give this some serious thought. So, you guys
we've
settle
done
down
it, guys.
for a long rest, and we've got the four of you posting watch. We will pick back up here next time.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
That makes me nervous.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah. Hell
Probably
yeah.
just some like little tiny fairies screwing around, and now we're gonna be like, oh,
Somehow that makes me more nervous than you
I
being
think it's the wizard.
with a gun.
yeah,
I think it's the
it
wizard.
could be.
I think it's probably
It's a
the
little
wizard,
weird
too.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. We'll sort it out. I'm just glad we're making Ryan think. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Don't want it to get too easy for him.
Sounds good.
I tell you what, Birdie.
Oh, fuck.
About halfway through your watch, you hear the flutter of wings. And you see the raven land on the rail of the balcony outside your doors. And clutched in its beak is a short, rolled up piece of parchment. And it sits there and kind of like flits back and forth looking at you.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do you want me to go for it, or you want to cut here?
This will be quick.
Okay, I'll go
you
for
wanna
it.
say just what you open
Yeah.
things? Okay.
Yeah, I'll
As you step out onto the balcony, it sort of like leans forward, and it drops the scroll in your hand. It's just like a tiny little scroll. As you roll it open in beautiful, ornate, like elaborately, elaborate calligraphy. It says, "It would give me great pleasure if you would join me for dinner. Isgaran." And at the bottom, in slightly smaller script, is just 7 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, darn.
And the raven's just sort of sitting there like,
We will strongly consider it.
and it continues to kind of look at you for a second.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll just pull off a little piece of. I'll go through my bag and get a little piece of sage, and just kind of.
Give me
And
a dollar.
It balks a little bit, and then it kind of looks at your hand with the parchment, and
you want it back? Oh, you want like a reply or something on it? Okay. Let me grab a. You didn't bring a pen. You don't have a pen on you, do you? Okay. Let me. Hold on. Try and like find something to write with. I'm sure I have some kind of something. Oh, I got my paint.
as you turn to go back into the room, there's just a, and it takes off.
A dick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good.
And we will pick up there.
Yes.
Next time.
Damn, okay.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Interesting.
Yeah,
We still don't know if it was him that did the scrounging though, the rummaging, which we'll have to inquire.
Think on it, Fred, and get back to us.
Yeah.
Sheesh, gay.
So, is next Wednesday still good with everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good in the hood.
Golly.
We'll plan on next Wednesday, the 31st. Is 6:30 still good time?
Gang gang.
Thank you guys.
Thank
This
you guys
was
for
fun.
playing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
See you next week.
See you guys. Good session.
Good night, all.